fly ball hit to deep left. Going back, looking up the wall, it's gone. The runner too far off the bag. They have picked him off. Cold strike 3, frozen with a fastball.
Crimson Tide Baseball is on the air on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Breaking ball ripped down the line. It is a fair ball. It'll get into the corner. Rounding third and scoring. And Bama wins it on a walk-off.
Alabama Baseball is brought to you by Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable team for termite protection. Chick-fil-A. Download the Chick-fil-A app and score big before the game begins. Auto Owners Insurance. Visit rolltide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent. And by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Now with a call of the game, here's Chris Stewart and Roger Hoover.
Picture-perfect day for baseball on the final day in February. We were supposed to play this matchup between Jacksonville State and Alabama on the first day of March, but rainy weather in the forecast for tomorrow, so the Gamecocks and the Crimson Tide will meet one day early here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium as Alabama looks to improve to 9-0 on the season. Logan, everybody, this is Roger Hoover. Great to be with you at the Joe on this gorgeous Tuesday afternoon. Our producer back at our Learfield studios is Alex Brown, and then our video producer is Ethan Carabin. He is running our booth cam on all CTSN social media platforms. Glad to have you with us for the Tide and the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, and this is the Cook's Pest Control pregame show, presented again by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Alabama, so far so good. 8 games played, 8 victories for the Crimson Tide. We just saw Alabama sweep High Point over the weekend, 9-4, 10-6, and then on Sunday, 4-2. Crimson Tide were winners. Meanwhile, Jacksonville State off to a 3-4 start this season under legendary head coach Jim Case, and so far this year they have played an SEC team. Georgia even posted a victory against them on opening day, and they're coming off 2 victories against Southern Illinois. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineups, and we'll have the first pitch of baseball between Alabama and Jacksonville State. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Back at Sewell-Thomas Stadium, the Crimson Tide and the JSU Gamecocks meeting in baseball. Let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by Chick-fil-A. All Alabama Chick-fil-A locations support Bama baseball. Before we fully dive into the starters for JSU and UA, why don't we first pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for a station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Welcome back to Alabama Baseball on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Roger Hoover with you at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Again, our producer is Alex Brown back at our Learfield studios, and Ethan Carabin running our video stream on all CTSN social media platforms so you can watch what happens in the booth. Chick-fil-A starting lineups for Jacksonville State as they'll be at the plate in this top of the first inning against right-handed starter Luke Holman of Alabama. Leading off at second base, Javon Hernandez. Batting second, the left fielder Mason Mainers. TJ Reeves, former Crimson Tide outfielder, is playing once again for JSU. He bats in the third spot and plays in center field. Carson Crowe in right field batting cleanup. Caleb Johnson at third base batting fifth. AJ Causey at first. He'll be batting in the sixth spot, followed by Will Fincher, who's today's designated hitter for JSU, batting seventh. Brooks Bryan is catching, batting eighth. Batting ninth, and at shortstop for Jacksonville State, Michael Dallas. And in the bottom of the first, they will have Will Baker on the mound, a right-hander. But it's Jacksonville State at the plates with Hernandez, Mainers, and Reeves due up in the top of the first against Alabama right-hander Luke Holman. Holman going through his warm-up tosses on the mound right now, as he'll be making what is his third appearance and second start of the year. Stands at 6'4". He's 185 pounds, the sophomore out of Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. So far this season for the Crimson Tide, he's 1-0 in his time on the mound, a 3.60 ERA. He's worked 5 innings, has given up 2 runs, both earned on 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Batters hitting .250 against Luke Holman as he continues his warm-up tosses to catcher Dominic Temez. The rest of the Crimson Tide defensively feature Ryan Gardino in left in his first Alabama start. It'll be center fielder Caden Rose patrolling all that grass between left and right field. Then over in right field, a favorite of the right field Rangers, Andrew Pinckney. Around the diamond, Colby Shelton at third, Jim Jarvis at short, Bryce Eblin at second, first baseman Drew Williamson, and Dominic Temez catching for right-hander Luke Holman. Hernandez first to the plate. Right-handed batter for Jacksonville State. 81 degrees, hardly any clouds in the sky. Just light blue skies above, kind of a whitish haze on the horizon, but can't pick better weather for baseball. Good decision by both schools to play today. Holman ready, first pitch of the game. Fastball is swung on and popped up high behind home plate. Flipping the mask is Temez. He runs all the way to the backstop, but that'll drop into the home plate club. Right behind home plate. Roger Myers and friends trying to sort out who will get that souvenir. First pitch at 3:02 on this lovely Tuesday afternoon for baseball. Nothing but sunshine covering the field as Alabama and Jacksonville State meet for the first time this year. Hernandez hitting .276. Righty on righty. Next pitch. In there for a strike. First slider of the day for Luke Holman after first tossing in a fastball that was fouled away. No score on the top of the first. Holman in front, no balls, 2 strikes. The righty ready in the 0-2. Breaking ball, smack foul. Down the third base side, it'll stay 0-2. Home plate umpire ruling on all balls and strikes today is David Bailey. Morris Hodges, the first base umpire. Second base umpire right now standing in shallow center field, Jeff Head. Third base umpire, Danny Cricks. The 0-2. Fastball, swing and a foul tip, held on to by Temez, strike 3, and Luke Holman starts this game with a strikeout. No score in the top of the first. Holman striking out Hernandez. Now Maynard steps in from the left side. 375 average. Very good start for Mainers. 9 for 24 at the plate. First pitch on the way. Low and inside for ball 1. All the umps wearing the black polo shirts or pullovers, but short sleeves, no longer the jackets, as we've gotten to some warmer weather. 1-0. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Gray slacks, black shoes, black caps for all the umpires, and then the Crimson Tide with an alternate look with the Crimson Tops. Alabama written across the front in white numerals in the front and back, and then white pants, and the Crimson Cap with a white script A. 1-1. In there for a strike, lower outside corner. Mainers thought maybe it missed a little low, little outside, but it's 1-2. JSU, meanwhile, wearing black jersey tops with gray pants. Black ball caps for the Gamecocks. Pitch, swing, and a hard roller to the second baseman. Eblin's got it easy, back of the dirt, on to first for the out. 2 away. Center fielder number 2, T.J. Reeves. That's former Crimson Tide outfielder T.J. Reeves stepping in from the right side of the plate. Playing against Alabama for a second straight season after he was part of this club in 2021. First pitch, righty on righty, misses low and outside from Holman to Reeves. TJ now in his senior season, native of Birmingham, went to Hueytown High School. At .317 a year ago, 1-0. Fastball lined into right field for a base hit. Williamson went high into the air, the Alabama first baseman, but couldn't get a glove on it, and TJ Reeves is aboard with a single. At Alabama, 3 seasons for TJ Reeves before moving to JSU last year. Hit .317. Stole 8 bases, was a really solid addition to Jim Case's Jacksonville State Gamecocks club. Now, runner at first with 2 gone. We are scoreless in the top of the first. Holman giving up the single. He now works from the stretch. Righty to lefty. Carson Crowe at the plate. First pitch is low. Blocked well by the catcher Temez for ball 1. Something you won't see in Major League Baseball this season, you are seeing here. The shift onto the right side of the infield against the lefty batting Crowe, expecting him to pull the ball. So Eblin is standing in shallow right field, the Alabama second baseman. Slider taken for a strike, lower outside corner, 1-1. Jarvis standing at the normal second baseman spot, or a little closer to the bag, and then Colby Shelton, third baseman in the normal shortstop position, nobody around third base. Here's a quick throw to first base. Good tag applied by Williamson, but Reeves back in there safely. 8 stolen bags for TJ Reeves last season, hasn't attempted stolen base so far this year. No score, top of the first. Another throw, and this one gets away from Williamson. Bouncing up against the sidewall, Reeves dove back head first into the bag and also hit the bag a little funny as he will walk around, trying to make sure he feels all right. And a chance to advance on the ball that got away from Williamson at first base. Carson Crowe, he's from Tuscaloosa, went to American Christian Academy. Senior who stands at 6'4". Throw to first again. Closer tag this time, but once again, Reeves is safe. Crowe hitting .214 with 1 homer, 7 runs batted in. Holman from the stretch, no score, top of the first. Set of the belt, his pitch. Fastball, sprayed foul behind home plate, and it's 1-2. Crowe hit .243 last season. Started 52 games and mainstay in the lineup for Jacksonville State. Throw to first again. Once again, Reeves is safe. Scoreless in the top of the first from Sewell-Thomas Stadium as Carson Crowe's at the plate. Caleb Johnson waits on deck. Holman with the 1-2. And a balk is called by the third base umpire. You can hear it up here from Danny Cricks. Start and stop to the motion for Luke Coleman, and TJ Reeves will take second base. He's in scoring position with 2 outs. Holman a strike away from getting a scoreless top of the first against his father's alma mater, Jacksonville State. A look back at Reeves at second, now the 1-2. Fastball missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. Temez caught that pitch and then popped up, stood behind Carson Crowe, and even took 2 more steps to the right, seeing if a throw to second base would be necessary. 2-2 the count. Holman set. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider, and the inning is over. A couple of strikeouts for Holman as TJ Reeves is left stranded at second, and the Gamecocks do not score. Bottom of the first coming up at the Joe. It's Jacksonville State nothing, and the Crimson Tide to the plate when we return. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crispy, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama baseball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
Bama fans, college baseball is back. Rally up your friends with a cold, refreshing Dos Equis lager to watch your team hit it out of the park on game day. Whether you're hanging out at the bar with your fellow Bama fans or watching with a friend who went to that other school, Dos Equis is there to celebrate every strikeout. So grab a cold, crisp Dos Equis and roll Tide. Dos Equis, proud partner of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2023. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Scoreless between Jacksonville State and Alabama, rolling to the bottom of the first at the Joe. Starting lineups are presented by Chick-fil-A. Roll Tide with Chick-fil-A. Here's a look at the starting lineups for Alabama. Leading off and at third base will be Colby Shelton, followed by Ryan Gardino, the left fielder, making his first Alabama start, batting second and in left. Andrew Pinckney batting third and in right field. Cleanup batter, Drew Williamson. He's at first base. Ed Johnson in the starting lineup. He's the DH for today, batting fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Dominic Temez. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Jim Jarvis. Batting eighth and in center field, Caden Rose. Then batting ninth, rounding out the lineup is second baseman Bryce Eblin. Alabama facing a left-hander on the mound, Will Baker. He continues his warm-up tosses. We'll look at JSU around him defensively. Mason Mainers in left field, then TJ Reeves back in center field for Jacksonville State. Carson Crow in right field. Around the infield, Caleb Johnson at third. Michael Dallas at shortstop. Javon Hernandez at second. A.J. Causey at first. Brooks Bryan is catching for the starting pitcher for Jacksonville State, Will Baker. Making his first start this year, has worked in 4 games out of the bullpen. Lefty on lefty to start this game. Standing on the first base side of the rubber, first pitch from Baker. Swing and a miss on a fastball, strike one. Baker, high ERA, 7.71, only because he's only worked 2 1/3 innings in the early season, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits. Now they go 1. Shelton takes low and outside, 1-1. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts for Baker. Batters against him hitting .250. So he makes this start against Alabama. 1-1 to Shelton. Swing and a fly ball hit to straightaway center field. Running in is TJ Reeves, and on the move, he'll squeeze it for out number 1. Line out to center field for Alabama's Colby Shelton, who was hitting .333 prior to that at bat. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. Ryan Gardino to the plate. 0 for 2 so far in his time at Alabama this season after transferring in from Tennessee Tech. Lefty to righty. Normal depth on the infield. First pitch. Slider spins in for a strike on the lower outside corner. Baker, the starting pitcher, 5'11" he stands, native of Mount Olive, Alabama. Now the 0-1. Fastball, a little high, and the count to an even 1 ball, 1 strike. Went to Gardendale High School. Works on the left side of the mound. His first year at Jacksonville State, and today his first Gamecock start. Ball on the strike and the pitch. Fastball missed a little upstairs. Tried to hit that upper outside corner. Had pretty good placement, but ruled ball 2. No one on base for Alabama with 1 out. Baker rocks back in the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Another good fastball, 2-2. Baker, prior to moving to Jacksonville, 2 years at Coastal Alabama Community College South in Bay Minette, Alabama. Now the 2-2. Gardino swings and misses strike 3 at a slider below the zone. Bobbled for a moment by Bryan, but now the catcher throws to first, completes the putout, and there are 2 gone. First strikeout for Will Baker against Alabama. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. Nobody on base. 2 outs for Alabama and Andrew Pinckney. Hitting clean .500 to start the year. A very nice batting average through 8 games. 1 homer, 4 RBI. Lefty to righty, first pitch. Low. And that's ball 1. Pinckney in his familiar spot and batting third in the order for the Crimson Tide. Now the 1-0. Over the plate for a strike, and it's 1-1. Pinckney selected to the 2023 Bobby Pregame Collegiate Slugger Award watch list. Here's a swing and a fly ball into straightaway center. With the shades on, TJ Reeves is back, camps under it, makes a two-handed grab, and that closes out a scoreless and 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Jacksonville State left-hander Will Baker. Played an inning in Tuscaloosa, it's scoreless between the Gamecocks and the Crimson Tide. Second inning up next as you listen to the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Scoreless game between the Gamecocks and the Crimson Tide as we move to the top of the second here at the Joe. Just played the first inning that was brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health, reminding you to protect your team by getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Tide fans ages 12 and older are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine in Alabama. For more information, visit alcovidvaccine.gov. Caleb Johnson, followed by A.J. Causey, Will Fincher due to the plate in this top of the second with a scoreless ball game. Luke Holman, Will Baker. Scoreless first innings. It was Holman giving up 2-out single to T.J. Reeves, but ultimately he was left stranded at second base. Righty to lefty. Johnson at the plate, first pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball at 93 miles per hour for strike one. Luke Holman's father, Craig, the JSU Gamecocks all-time wins leader with 32 during his time in Jacksonville. Here's the 0-1. Over the plate, a little outside, and 1-1. Also, Craig Holman played on 2 national championship teams, 1990 and 1991, for JSU. Here's the 1-1. Outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So a special matchup for Luke Holman to get to pitch against his father's alma mater, especially considering all the success Craig had at JSU. Pitch fouled away by Johnson, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score in the top of the second here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Again, just a gorgeous day for baseball. Very good decision made once again by Alabama on scheduling around weather. Here's the 2-2. Fastball fouled away, and it stays at 2-2. Of course, ultimately last week, considering what Alabama pulled off, getting out of the Pepperdine series where you knew there was cold weather, rain forecast every day in Malibu, which is still hard to believe. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, got him, swinging strike 3. Low the table that time for Luke Holman as he racks up his 3rd strikeout in the early going. No score at the top of the second, 1 out, nobody on base for A.J. Causey. But to reschedule a West Coast trip, come home to Alabama, stay home really, they hadn't left. Here's the first pitch to Causey. Slider for a strike, lower outside corner to the righty hitting Causey. Then get High Point to come in at the last moment, adjusting its schedule to play Alabama. Really remarkable. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs heater, a check swing. He went around. Strike 2. Ruled a strike by the home plate umpire David Bailey after Causey tried to connect on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Pitch clock down to 12. Holman with the 0-2. Low and outside, and it's ball and 2 strikes on Causey. Then this week, the decision was made yesterday morning to move up what was originally scheduled for a Wednesday 3 o'clock first pitch. Move it up to Tuesday. Get this game in. Some rain in the forecast for tomorrow here in Tuscaloosa. The 1-2. Breaking ball, smack foul to the Alabama on-deck circle, really just front of the dugout. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Causey. 4 for 9 to start his season, the JSU first baseman. 1 out and nobody on base. We're scoreless in the top of the second. The pitch. Fastball, check swing, went around, according to first base umpire Morris Hodges. Strike 3, and that is 4 strikeouts for Holman against the first 6 batters. No score at the top of the second. No one on base and 2 outs for Jacksonville State. Here's Will Fincher stepping in from the right side. Holman, the right-hander, rocks back. First pitch. Fastball pelted in for a strike, lower inside corner. Fincher just 1 for 3 to start his season for JSU. Freshman out of Powder Springs, Georgia, the 0-1. Here's a swing and a line drive fell. First base side, strike 2. Chance for Holman to strike out the side in order as he makes his second start of the season. First start was against Tennessee Tech last week. No one on base, 2 gone. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball bounced into home plate. It's like a bounce in the dirt before crossing the white pentagon, and that makes it a ball and 2 strikes to Fincher. Holman got his first victory of the year against the Golden Eagles last week. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. Holman strikes out the side in order. A very impressive 1-2-3 top of the second. Nothing doing for the Gamecocks at the plate. We'll see what happens for the Crimson Tide. Coming up next, we're going to the bottom of the second with no score here in Tuscaloosa. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you sick of pretending to like boring hard seltzers that leave you feeling bloated? Tired of drinking the same old light beer? No time to make a mixed drink with all those complicated ingredients? Then it's time for you to try something different. Beatbox is now an official sponsor of Alabama and the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Packing an 11.1 APV punch, each Beatbox is bursting with delicious flavors. Beatbox is gluten-free, low sugar, and resealable, so you can always take the party on the go. There ain't no party like a Beatbox party. Roll Tide. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21. When you're planning your next visit to Tuscaloosa, explore the upscale options available at the new AC Hotel by Marriott. Conveniently located in the heart of downtown Tuscaloosa, surrounding yourself in luxury and comfort in a spacious room with complimentary Wi-Fi, a smart TV, premium toiletries, and a plush bed, while the rooftop bar and lounge provides the best place in town to wind down after cheering the Crimson Tide to victory. AC Hotel Tuscaloosa Downtown is proud to be a preferred hotel partner of the University of Alabama Athletics.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
No score in the bottom of the second between Alabama and Jacksonville State. We'll see the Crimson Tide this inning with Drew Williamson, Ed Johnson, and Dominic Temez to the plate. Second inning brought to you by Homewood Suites Tuscaloosa. When in Tuscaloosa, stay at the new Homewood Suites. Convenient to downtown Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama campus. Great day on campus. Crimson Tide and the Gamecocks meeting on this Tuesday afternoon. Lefty on lefty, first pitch. Drew Williamson takes low, 4-1. Williamson leading the way with 4 home runs this year. 12 runs batted in, and he's hitting a sparkling .519. Next pitch on the way. Off the plate, but ruled a strike, and it's 1-1. Speaking of a day on campus, a lot of students getting the word that there's Tuesday baseball to be played. Temperatures in the low 80s. Get to right field. Here's the 1-1. High and outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. To all the right field Ragers beyond the right field wall, we salute you. And a lot of them out there today showing sunshine, really good weather, and a really good Alabama team off to an 8-0 start this year. Baker after a 1-2-3 first inning. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now it's 2-2 on Williamson. Low, slow curve at 77 miles per hour by the lefty. Williamson just keeps mashing at the plate. His discipline's been great. More walks and strikeouts so far. Here's the 2-2. Low and outside, 3-2. Fifth-year senior out of Brewton, Alabama. Now a 5-year starter in his Alabama career. Real mainstay in the Bohannon era, Drew Williamson. Baker's set to work, and the payoff pitch. Swing and a hard grounder right to the shortstop. Dallas has it on to first. Bit low on the throw because he digs it out, and there's one gone. Williamson grounding out to short to start Alabama's second inning at the plate. Ed Johnson next up for the Crimson Tide. He is today's designated hitter, infielder that transferred in from Tennessee Tech. Lefty to righty with one out, nobody on base, and we're scoreless. And the first pitch. Check swing on a breaking ball that's taken for an inside corner strike. Johnson hitting .316 early in the year. That means he is 6 for 19 at the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Low and inside, and the count evens to a ball and a strike. Here in Tuscaloosa, 320 down the line in both right field and left field. 360 to the power alleys in left center and right center. Then 390 feet to straightaway center field. That green wall with a high green batter's eye backdrop. 1-1. Off the plate. Changeup missing outside. 2-1. Coleman Coliseum visible beyond right field. The parking lot adjacent to it. Just to the left. Up beyond left center. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Swing and a grounder up the middle, past the mound, past second base, and into center field for a base hit. Big turnaround first for Johnson, but he's aboard with a 1-out single. No score in the bottom of the second, but Alabama's got its first base runner of the day. Here it's Dominic Temez to the plate. Right-handed batting catcher against the lefty Baker on the mound for Jacksonville State. Set of the belt. First pitch. Check swing on a pitch low and inside, ball 1 to Dominic Temez. Got the bridge to 2nd Avenue out beyond center field that we watched be constructed 2 years ago, and that's been in operation for the last 2 seasons. Law school beyond left field. 1-0. Outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Great scoreboard out beyond left center field that has undergone a facelift for this season. Now green is the primary background, white lettering. Just a real baseball feel for the video board out beyond left center. 2-0 pitch. Fastball framed as a strike, lower outside corner. Some gripes and moans and groans from the Alabama fans as it's 2 balls and a strike to Temez, but he'll take that for Luke Holman back in the top of the third. Sometimes the catcher's the last guy to complain about balls and strikes when he's hitting. A look at first. Baker with a throw there to check on Ed Johnson, who's back in standing up. Crimson Tide led by Brad Bohannon, giving all the signals down the third base side. Coach Bo, now in his 6th year here in Tuscaloosa. 2 balls and a strike and the pitch. Sweeping slider, missing low and inside. 3 balls and a strike to Temez. We are scoreless in the bottom of the second. Johnson at first with 1 out for Alabama.
Trey Fortner warming up for Jacksonville State. 34 Fortner up in the Jacksonville State bullpen.
Gamecocks with Baker on the mound, but Trey Fortner is warming up in the bullpen. 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Temez drops the yellow bat, heads up to first base, drawing the walk. Scoreless in the bottom of the second. Here is Jim Jarvis. Jim a bit lower in the lineup than we're used to seeing him after so much of his Alabama career has been in leadoff spot, but today it's Shelton batting leadoff. Look back at second. Here's the first pitch. Lefty on lefty. A swing and a bouncing ball. Foul up the first base line. Strike 1 on Jim Jarvis. Jim hitting .207 to start the year. You look at his last 5 games, he's 3 for 16 at the plate. Good discipline at the plate for Jarvis. He walked 4 times to go with a pair of hits. 3 runs scored against High Point over the weekend. The 0-1. Takes a strike on the inner half on a breaking ball, and Now it's 0-2 in a spot where Baker would love to get a strikeout or any ground ball that could start a potential double play. I say potential because Jarvis runs so well from the left side of the plate. Jarvis choking up slightly with the white gloves and the black bat, waving it back and forth. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, that's off the plate. Low and outside, ball 1. 6 walks for Jarvis, including 4 over this past weekend, compared to only 2 strikeouts. 2 on for the Crimson Tide with 1 out. We are scoreless in the bottom of the second as Alabama tries to break through. The 1-2. Low and outside, really pitching away from Jarvis. And it's 2-2. Johnson at second, Temez at first for Alabama with only 1 out. Wind blowing out a bit to left. I'll look back at second. And the 2-2. Swing and a line drive to center, dropping in for a base hit. Coach Bohannon waving around Ed Johnson past third. Reeves will toss back to the infield as Johnson scores without a play. And it is an RBI single for Jim Jarvis that gives Alabama a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Jarvis absolutely smoking that one for an RBI single, his 3rd RBI this season. Situation the same for Alabama, 1 out, runners at first and second. Now it's Caden Rose to the plate with a 1-0 Crimson Tide lead, bottom of the second. Lefty against righty, first pitch. Strike call in the inner half of the plate on a breaking ball from Baker. Caden Rose hitting .286 for Alabama with 1 homer and 8 runs batted in. Had a great 5 RBI game against Richmond on the second game of the season. So that's 5 of his 8 ribbies this year. The 0-1. Low and outside. Backhanded stab by the catcher, Brooks Bryan, to make sure that didn't roll the backstop. Ball and a strike to Caden Rose. Caden saw time in all 3 games with 2 starts against High Point over the weekend. Had 1 hit. He's overall 3 for his last 13. Pitch. Fastball, check swing, and a strike call by the home plate umpire, David Bailey. Ball and 2 strikes on Rose with Temez at second, Jarvis at first. Only 1 out, Alabama with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the second. Baker set at the belt, and the pitch. Swing and a line drive, just fair down the left field line, but a foul ruling by Danny Cricks, third base umpire. Caden Rose putting his hands to his ears, indicating he wants a challenge on that ball, but ruled dead right away by Danny Cricks, the third base umpire. First glance up here looked like a fair ball. Brad Bohannon not challenging the ruling, and again, ruled foul right away. So with that, runners at first and second for Alabama. It remains a ball and 2 strikes on Rose. Now the 1-2. Low and outside, 2-2. Haven't seen a replay yet from SEC Network that really details whether or not that ball was fair or foul down the left field line. But again, first glance certainly looked like a fair ball. Brad Bohannon had that indication. Caden Rose certainly did. Watching it as he hustled out of the right-handed batter's box. 1-0 Tide lead. Bottom of the second, the pitch. Outside, and it's a full count to Caden Rose. Taking a few looks at the SEC Network replay. Again, Rose smoking it. Looked more foul from that second camera angle we just saw, the high home angle. No argument from the Crimson Tide except for Rose, who wanted to challenge. 2-2 the pitch. Low and in, and that's ball 4. Second walk of the inning. 4 straight Crimson Tide batters have advanced. Now the bases are loaded with only 1 gone, and Bryce Eblin to the plate. Bryce Eblin next up for the Crimson Tide. Taking a look at SEC reviewable calls list. First thing is batted fair or foul ball. Here's the pitch. Fastball runs high and tight. Real chin music on Eblin. A lefty hitter, ball 1. Deciding if a batted ball is fair or foul, the ball must first touch the ground or a fielder beyond the initial position of the first or third baseman. It was down the line. Here's the 1-0. Low and outside. Now it's 2 balls and no strikes on Eblin. Eblin hitting .235 to start the season. No homers, 5 runs batted in. Bases loaded, only 1 gone. A 1-0 Alabama lead, bottom of the second. Now the pitch. After squaring around for bunt, pulls it back. Third baseman is playing in on the grass, Caleb Johnson. And it's now 3 balls and no strikes. Waiting on deck is Colby Shelton representing the top of the order. Tough spot for Will Baker, who breezed through a 1-2-3 first inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. 3-0 pitch to Eblin. Fastball for a strike, lower inside corner. Not an overpowering fastball, has been sitting in the mid-80s, but it has some good movement for Baker as he makes his first start for Jacksonville State. Nowhere to put Eblin. Temez at third, Jarvis at second, Rose at first with only 1 out. Alabama trying to build on a 1-0 lead, bottom of the second. Baker ready, and the 3-1. Chipped foul to the netting behind home, taking a couple of bounces right behind Colby Shelton, who waits on deck for Alabama. .42nd pitch coming up for Baker. Payoff pitch. Swing and a hard grounder that skips in front of the runner into right field for a base hit. Alabama adds to the lead. Temez scores right behind him as Jarvis. The throw goes to third, but Rose is safe there, and it's a 2-run single for Bryce Eblin that's made it Alabama 3, Jacksonville State 0 in the bottom of the second. Two-run single for Bryce Eblin. Excellent moves around the base paths by Caden Rose to advance to third. And smart play by Carson Crowe, the right fielder for Jacksonville State, to throw to third base, see if he can make a play there. Baker got off to such a good start, setting down the first 4 batters he faced, but since then 5 have gotten aboard. And we may see a call to the bullpen. A quick visit from the pitching coach right now for Jacksonville State. It'll be decision time shortly on Baker. You have a lefty-on-lefty matchup here with Shelton. Possibility this will be the last batter Baker faces regardless of the result. Alabama, a 3-0 lead, bottom of the second here in Tuscaloosa. And it will still be Baker working on the hill. Trey Fortner is getting loose, is ready if needed. So after the trip to the mound, it's Colby Shelton next up for the Crimson Tide. Alabama now in front by a 3-0 score. The 2 scoring plays, Jarvis with an RBI single, and now a 2-run single 2 batters later by Bryce Eblin. Shelton at the plate, first pitch. Lefty on lefty, a slide check swing as that one misses low for ball 1. Shelton, a home run, 2 runs batted in. So 2 homers so far in his time against Alabama, but over the weekend, homered again against High Point, 1-0. Low and outside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Exciting freshman on this Alabama roster. Earned playing time right away, started on opening day against Richmond. Now the 2-0. Hit foul to the netting behind home plate. 2 balls and a strike. Just a really locked-in hitter. Went to Bloomingdale High School, Valrico, Florida, number 2 shortstop in the state of Florida. Florida, California, Georgia, about the best baseball-producing states in terms of high school talent. Pitch, check swing low. A snap throw to first will be blocked by Causey and caught just as Eblin quickly got back to the first base bag. Kind of risky throw considering Jarvis has such good speed at third base. Well, 3-1. 3-0 Alabama leads, bottom of the second. Only 1 out, men on the corners, and the pitch. Swing, and this one's popped up down the left side, and that will land just past the lights and onto the roof. Some of the lights are on, even though we certainly don't need them at this point. Field's still covered in sunshine. A few shadows are creeping in from behind home plate a little bit up the first base line. Still plenty of sun on the pitcher and the hitter. 3-2 the count. Payoff pitch. Fouled away again, left side. Maybe on the Bryant drive and could really hit a car. We played the fake sound effect, but the direction that one's going, somebody being unsuspecting on Bryant drive, will all of a sudden have a very bad day. So far, we're having a good day. 3-0 Crimson Tide, bottom of the second. Pitch, swing, and this is drilled high to straightaway center field. Reeves moving back to the track. He will watch it bounce off the wall for a base hit as Alabama adds to the lead. Quickly on the score, Caden Rose over to third base, Bryce Seblin on the RBI double by Colby Shelton. Make it 4-0 Crimson Tide, bottom of the second. First glance, most people thought that one was gone. Even Reeves lost his footing on the warning track for a moment, only for that one to fall on to the base of the wall and straightaway center to bring home Caden Rose. Evelyn to third, and this will indeed end the day for Baker on the mound. We figured this would be his last batter anyway in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Alabama's made it a 4-0 score, and Trey Fortner will be coming into pitch in just a moment for Jacksonville State, as we will have the game's first call to the bullpen, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Now you can make the call to Auto Owners Insurance. Go to RolledTide.com/Auto Owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. It's Alabama now with a lead of 4-0 against Jacksonville State, bottom of the second. New pitcher will be Trey Fortner. You're listening to Alabama Baseball from Learfield.
When you're planning your next visit to Tuscaloosa, explore the upscale options available at the new AC Hotel by Marriott. Conveniently located in the heart of downtown Tuscaloosa, surrounding yourself in luxury and comfort in a spacious room with complimentary Wi-Fi, a smart TV, premium toiletries, and a plush bed, while the rooftop bar and lounge provides the best place in town to wind down after cheering the Crimson Tide to victory. AC Hotel Tuscaloosa Downtown is proud to be a preferred hotel partner of the University of Alabama Athletics.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to start playing by your own rules and escape the routine so your fantasy becomes reality? Where every night is an adventure, where new flavors are ready to be tasted, where it feels like you're a winner. Take a chance. Reward yourself. Make your routine anything but routine. Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
Call to the bullpen presented by Auto Owners Insurance, with Alabama building a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the second. There will be 2 men in scoring position, just one out. That's a situation that Trey Fortner will inherit on the mound for Jacksonville State. Right-hander going through all of his warm-up tosses. Standing at 6'2", 188 pounds, the redshirt senior from Gloucester, Virginia. So far this season, Fortner, no wins, 2 losses, and 11.57 ERA. He's worked 2 appearances so far, no starts in the season. 4 2/3 innings. He's given up 7 runs, 6 earned on 9 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Batters against him hitting .409 for Jacksonville State. Pinch hitter for the Crimson Tide, it'll be Will Hodo in the spot of Ryan Gardino, who struck out his first, and maybe to this point, definitely to this point, his only time up. It's Hodo stepping in, who has been off to a really solid start for the Crimson Tide. Hodo, the sophomore out of Waynesboro, Mississippi. Lefty batter against the righty pitcher. 2 in scoring position, 1 out, tied in front, 4-0. Bottom of the second, first pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. Lower outside corner. Hodo in 7 games, 4 starts, hitting .294. 1 homer, 3 RBI, now the 0-1. Check swing on a pitch a little low and outside. And the count to an even 1 ball, 1 strike to Will Hodo. Eblin's at third base. Second base, Colby Shelton. First base open with 1 out. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball, missing low. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Hodo from Trey Fortner. So already 4 runs on 4 hits have scored in the inning for Alabama. Crimson Tide offense helped by a pair of walks by Baker, the starter. Now the 2-1. Swing and a hard ground ball to second. Bobbled by the second baseman Hernandez. The ball ricochets into shallow right field. Evelyn scores right behind him, Colby Shelton. It's an error on Hernandez that brings in 2 runs for Alabama. Make it 6-0 Crimson Tide in the bottom of the second. Tough break for Hernandez, his second error of the season. At first looked like he'd be able to glove it fine and looked like it'd be just an RBI ground out for Hodo to bring in the next run for Alabama and be the second out of the inning. But instead, both runs scored, especially heads-up base running all the way from second base for Shelton on that play. Righty batter Andrew Pinckney, 6-0 Alabama in the bottom of the second, and the pitch. Fastball low, and it's 1-0. Crimson Tide building up an early advantage. 6 runs in this bottom of the second, still just 1 gone. Now you have Pinckney at the plate. 1-0. Fastball, a check swing. Pinckney went around, and it will be a strike. Clearly went around on the attempted check of the bat. Fortner from the stretch, first base side of the rubber, the 1-1. Slider missing just off the plate. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Andrew Pinckney. Gamecocks 27-28 last season as they make the move to the A-Sun Conference. 2-1. Fouled away into the parking lot that separates Sewell-Thomas Stadium and Malmore Athletic Facility. 2-2. Fortner goes to the rosin bag just behind pitcher's rubber, just on the back slope of the mound. Now he's good to go. 2-2 on Pinckney. And the pitch. Swing and a slow bouncing ball to third. A fair ball gloved by Johnson. He throws across the green for the out. That's out number 2 in this inning. Ends the stretch of 7 Crimson Tide base runners getting aboard in a row. Crimson Tide batting around this inning. Drew Williamson made the first out of the inning with a ground ball to the shortstop. Hodo taking second on that play. He's in scoring position with 2 gone, and Alabama in front 6-0. Now the pitch. Slider bends in for a strike. Lower outside corner to the lefty hitting Williamson. Crimson Tide with a 6-0 lead. Pitch. Fastball hit on the ground in the center field, base hit. Getting the wave around third base is Will Hodo. He scores without a play. It's an RBI single for Drew Williamson. That makes it 7-0 Alabama, bottom of the second. Seven 0 Alabama, bottom of the second. A touchdown and an extra point for the Crimson Tide at the plate. And stepping in will be Ed Johnson from the right side of the plate. His single got it all going earlier in the inning. Pitch, fastball low, and it's 1-0. Now, new for SEC baseball this season will be the 10-run rule for 7 innings. You can call it a mercy rule, run rule, whatever you want to call it. That'll be in effect for all SEC regular season games. 1-0, and the pitch. Here's a swing and a grounder up the middle. Past a diving shortstop Dallas into center field, a base hit. Johnson's aboard with his second single up the middle in this inning. Williamson hustles to second base on the single by Johnson. 7-0 Alabama with the lead, bottom of the second inning. Now this year, in non-conference play, teams can agree to a run rule. We've seen that a couple times already for the Crimson Tide this season. Final game of the Richmond season, also last week's Wednesday ball game against UT Martin. Been informed there is no run rule for today. as Alabama's built up a 7-0 lead bottom of the second. Looking back at second, and the pitch. Breaking ball, missing inside for ball one to Dominic Temez. Reasoning for it's pretty simple. Just my guess. This is the only midweek game for the Crimson Tide. Only chance to work in a lot of pitchers before this weekend series when the Crimson Tide host Illinois Chicago. Fastball over the plate for a strike, 1-1. Because if you remember, Alabama was supposed to be in Malibu and, in the West Coast, facing Pepperdine over the weekend, flying back late Sunday night. And this game was originally scheduled for Wednesday. Pitch, fastball low, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Dominic Temez. So no matter what, this was going to be the only midweek game of the week for the Crimson Tide. And then for Jacksonville State, situation's pretty similar. This game against Alabama, the only game scheduled during the week for the Gamecocks before a weekend series against Bradley. 2-1. Swing and a ground ball up the middle to a diving shortstop Dallas. He's got it, flips onto second for the out to Hernandez, and that will bring this inning to a close. But 7 runs on 6 hits for Alabama. This was a strong bottom of the second here at the Joe. We're ready for the third inning with Alabama leading Jacksonville State by a 7-0 score. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit InsureKidsNow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Crimson Tide building up a 7-0 lead over Jacksonville State as we start the top of the third here in Tuscaloosa. This third inning brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Go to RollTide.com/Auto Owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. Luke Holman back to work after he got 7 runs of support in the bottom of the second inning. Alabama building up a 7-0 lead against Jacksonville State. Change for the Tide defensively. Will Hodo, after taking the spot of Ryan Gardino in the order, he'll take his spot defensively as well. It's now Hodo battling the sun out in left field. Only change for the Tide. Brooks Bryan, the catcher, first up for JSU. First pitch. Fastball bounced right back to the mound. Holman gloves it with the black glove on his left hand. Tosses underhand to first for the out. Excellent defense by the Tide pitcher Luke Holman. 1 gone in this top of the third.
The shortstop, number 6, Michael Dallas.
7-0 Crimson Tide. Michael Dallas next up for JSU. Shortstop who made a great diving stop on that last ground ball hit by Temez. First pitch. Inside heater is slowly nubbed just to the front of the mound on the grass. Holman's got it, fires first for the out. Back-to-back plays. Holman has defended his position really well. 2 away.
Second baseman, number 5, Javon Hernandez.
7-0 Alabama. 2 gone, no one on base. We're in the top of the third. Righty on righty, Hernandez at the plate, first pitch. Inside fastball, a strike. 93 miles per hour from Holman. Sophomore season for Luke Holman, again from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. 1. Low and inside, and the count evens to 1 ball and 1 strike. Holman led all true freshmen, tied for 5th on Alabama's team in relief outings last year with 15. The 1-1. Curveball bends high and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Overall, he was 0-2 a year ago, a 5.68 ERA, In his 19 innings, he did strike out 24. Pitch is a fastball and is just off the plate, low and outside. 3-1. Works with a good fastball. That's kind of the basis for everything he does on the mound. Slider, curve, changeup. 3-1 pitch. Fastball somewhere low, and that misses for ball 4. 1-out walk to Javon Hernandez.
Left fielder, number 21, Mason Maynard.
7-0 Alabama leads in the top of the third. And it indeed was low. Temez, catcher for the Crimson Tide, really moved his arm up after catching the ball a little low, really moved it up to frame it. Pitch is a fastball that's ripped to the first baseman, Williamson. Cat-like reflexes for Drew as the line drive was scalding right to him. He just reached up, made the grab in the first baseman's mitt, and that brings an abrupt end to the top of the third as Jacksonville State gets a base runner but ultimately does not score against Luke Holman. Bottom of the third coming up, it remains Alabama 7, Jacksonville State nothing. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and Lock-It card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regents.com/GoBama. Regents, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The excitement of our championship teams is in full force.
But the battle against COVID-19 isn't finished, as the need to protect our community is still ongoing. I'm Jordan Battle.
And I'm Henry To'oto'o. We're here to remind fans across Alabama to protect those around you by getting your COVID-19 vaccine and any boosters.
Free vaccinations are available for everyone 6 months and older at county health departments and in retail locations within your communities. Visit alcovidvaccine.gov for more information.
Stay safe and roll Tide.
Seven 0 Crimson Tide, bottom of the third against Jacksonville State as Alabama looks to improve to 9-0 on the season. Be sure to visit the Bryant Museum on your next visit to Tuscaloosa. It's located on the Alabama campus just across from Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. You can access online at any time at BryantMuseum.com. What a good afternoon if you went to the Bryant Museum and then walked across the street. You got to watch Crimson Tide baseball. Maybe keep that in mind for your next trip into T-Town. Here is Jim Jarvis. First pitch on the way. He takes low. 4-1 from Trey Fortner. He remains on the mound. As he came in for the starter, Baker will give you his final line. 1-0. Here's a swing, and that's chipped foul behind home plate. 1-1. For those of you scoring at home or possibly the office on this Tuesday afternoon, Baker, an inning and a third, 6 runs allowed, 4 of those earned on 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Pitch, fastball on the ground to a diving second baseman, Hernandez into shallow right, but the ball escapes his grasp and rolls into right field for a base hit. A leadoff single for Jim Jarvis, 2 for 2 in this ballgame. 7-0 Alabama leads. Caden Rose to the plate with Jarvis at first and nobody out. Caden drew a walk his first time up. May see some bullpen activity coming up for the Gamecocks. Throwing it first, runner back in time. So again, no run rule agreed to by the coaches today. And again, the main reason why is pitching. Trying to get a variety of pitchers, what would be maybe their only work of the week, or get them ready for a few relief outings on the weekend. Jacksonville State will be home against Bradley. Throw to first again. Closer play, but Jarvis safe. Alabama hosting UIC, the University of Illinois, Chicago. Throw to first. Jarvis in safely. Jarvis has not attempted a stolen bag so far this year. Rose still hasn't seen a pitch. 3 throws over. Now, in the big leagues, that wouldn't be allowed. I believe they are limiting the amount of pickoff throws to first base. Rose stepping at the plate. Righty on righty. Jarvis running. Pitch low for a ball. The throw by Bryan to second. Head first slide, and Jarvis is out. Jarvis motions that he wants this play reviewed. And Brad Bohannon will review it as well, it looks like. So call on the field is out, but Alabama trying to overturn the call as the 4 umpires will come together. And video review will tell us whether or not Jim Jarvis is safe at second base trying to steal his first bag of the year. And what is his first attempt? Official review coming up. So the umpires will take a look and see whether or not Jarvis was safe at second base. Crimson Tide Baseball brought to you by Onward Reserve. They are the official apparel provider of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. For all the great gear this season, visit onwardreserve.com for all of your golf and game day apparel. You can live authentically with Onward Reserve. Those of you watching on the video stream, I've got my Onward Reserve on today. Kind of this light blue and white striped shirt. Still got the Crimson Script A on the front, of course, but just kind of a different look. Really good for springtime coming up. Really appreciate our friends at Onward Reserve taking great care of us, starting with football season through basketball to baseball and beyond this year. So get a video review. The call on the field is out. Taking a look at the SEC Network replays. Jarvis with a good head first slide, very, very close with the tag of the second baseman Javon Hernandez. Seeing a look from the camera high above first base line. Chance that Jarvis snuck his right hand in before the swipe tag by Hernandez right at the base. Really close to tell on a few of the early replays we've gotten from the SEC Network. Jarvis certainly thought he was safe, motioned, put his hands over his ears immediately, always kind of the motion for the headset, and take a look. A few other glances at this. Hand in, maybe right before the tag. On that angle, it kind of looks safe. The umpires are getting the same look as all the SEC Network replays that we are seeing from our monitor here in the booth. I realize those of you at home can't see it, but again, on a couple of angles, it's been tough to see. And the call is out. Okay, so he looked like snuck the hand in. Especially from the third base camera angle, I thought he was safe. First 2 camera angles, high home, down the first base line. I couldn't really tell at all, but also a lot of times last year, regardless of what we saw on video, calls were not overturned. Here's the 1-0. Fastball, a strike call to Rose as he bats now with 1 out and nobody on base. It was kind of bewildering at times in SEC play just how few calls were overturned. You would talk to people around other teams in the SEC, 1-1, fastball off the plate, 2-1, and you'd say, how many overturned calls are you seeing? And kind of rarely would they say, yeah, we've seen overturned calls. Most of the time the call has stood, 2-1. Fastball low, and it's 3 balls and a strike to Rose. So Jarvis caught stealing. 7-0 Alabama leads bottom of the third. Rose a walk his first time up, 3-1. Fastball low. This goes all the way to the backstop. And it's a walk to Rose. Second one he's earned today.
Number 13, Brian
7-0 Alabama. Eblin with the only multi-RBI performance so far for the Crimson Tide, driving in 2. On his single, throw to first, runner back in time. It's Eblin picking up that RBI single. Part of that 7-run bottom of the second inning. Next pitch is in there for a strike. Fortner from the stretch. And the 0-1. Swing and a fly ball off the end of the bat into left. This will drop in for a base hit. Mainers plays it on the bounce. Gets a good throw to the infield to keep Rose at second. Bryce Eblin's aboard for a second time today with a single. Here's Colby Shelton. RBI double his last time up. Lefty hitter. against the righty Fortner. And the first pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Line out to center for Shelton his first time up. Really hit the ball hard, but it was sized up perfectly by T.J. Reeves in center field. Then nearly homered. Double off the center field wall. 1 for 2 in this game today. 7-0 Alabama leads in the bottom of the third. Breaking ball way outside. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. One. Outside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Glad to have you with us just after 4 o'clock here in Tuscaloosa on this gorgeous Tuesday for baseball. Hope you're wearing T-shirt and shorts, enjoying the good weather for today's game. 81 degrees at the time at first pitch, and that's exactly what we have right now. 2-1. Swing, and that one's knocked foul just to the third base side of the batter's box. Dirt circle around home, 2-2. This is Roger Hoover with you from the press box at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Game being produced back at our Learfield Studios by Alex Brown. Ethan Carabin alongside producing our video streams. The booth cam available on all CTSN social media outlets. 2-2 the count. And the pitch. Breaking ball been tying outside. Full count on Shelton, 3-2. Tip of the cap to our friends we've been mentioning the SEC Network video angles they give us as we have a monitor in the booth. Keep an eye on what they're showing to fans back home. Payoff pitch. Fastball high, ball 4. Walk to Colby Shelton. Alabama looking to rally once again after scoring 7 runs in the bottom of the second. Got to say, tip of the cap to Lance Cormier. Of course, we always see him, former big leaguer, color analyst on so many SEC Network Plus broadcasts. But how about Seth Payne? Works Crimson Tide Productions. Pitch, fastball outside, 1-0. And he's on the play-by-play call today. We salute you, Seth Payne. Will Hodo with the plate. Reached on an error last time up. Pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball rolls into right center for a base hit. Alabama adds to the lead. And to score, Caden Rose. Right behind him, Bryce Eblin. 2-run single, Will Hodo. Now it's the Crimson Tide with a 9-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Shelton took second. That's Rose and Eblin cross the plate to make it 9-zip Crimson Tide. Andrew Pinckney next up. 2 on with only 1 out. We had that long rally an inning ago with only 1 gone. Pitch is low and outside for a ball. No, it could be starting again. Big rally for the Crimson Tide. 9 runs, 9 hits for Alabama. Here's the 1-0. Fastball, little upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to Pinckney, who so far today has been 0 for 2. Pinckney, Temez, and Rose looking for their first hit today, but Rose has gotten on base twice with walks. 9-0 Alabama. The pitch. Swing and a miss at a low changeup. Ball and a strike on Pinckney. 2-1, I beg your pardon. Shadows creeping to home plate. Fortner looks at second. And the 2-1. Breaking ball is lined into right field, base hit. Runners advancing. The hold will be put on Shelton at third by Coach Bowe. Pinckney with the single has loaded the bases with only 1 out for Alabama. Now Drew Williamson to the plate. 9-0 Alabama. We're in the bottom of the third. First pitch. Outside for a ball. How about the start to the season for Drew Williamson? Called Big Country during his early years at Alabama, the preferred nickname recently is W. That goes back to last year. Here's the 1-0. Low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Kind of similar to George W. Bush. I always had the campaign buttons when he was running for president in the year 2000, said D-U-B-Y-A-W. Because in his Texas vernacular, that's how you say W. Here's the 2-0. Here's a swing, and this is knocked high and foul out of play down the left field line, and it's 2 balls and a strike to W. Drew Williamson, of course, his last name starts with the letter W or W. No matter what you call him, he's producing. 4 home runs to lead the Crimson Tide. Bases loaded, 1 gone. Fortner in quite a jam. Already 2 runs have scored, the 2-1. Off the plate, 3 balls and a strike. Over the weekend, 4 hits, including a double and a home run for Williamson. 3 runs batted in. Drove in a single earlier, a run on a single. The pitch. He swings off the end of the bat, sprays it high and deep in the air to left field. On the run, diving catch made by Mason Mainers for the out. Shelton tags from third and scores to make it 10-0 Alabama. Great effort by Mason Mainers as it's only a sacrifice fly to make it 10-0 Crimson Tide. Drew Williamson driving in another run for Alabama. Mainers getting parallel to the ground as he dove to his right. If he doesn't make that catch, likely 3-run score, and Williamson would be at either second or third base. But instead, it's the second out of the inning. Shelton scoring. Hodo at second, over at first is Pinckney. First pitch, Ed Johnson smacks it foul down the first base side, strike 1. 10-0 Alabama. We're in the bottom of the third inning. We're talking football, 7 runs in the last inning. Touchdown, an extra point. How about a field goal in this inning? 3 runs have scored in the bottom of the third. 2 on with 2 out for Johnson. And the 0-1. Fastball is knocked high in the air to center. Over to his left, TJ Reeves with the shades on. Just creeping onto the warning track. He'll make the catch for the out, and that'll end a 3-run bottom of the third for the Crimson Tide. Let's roll to the 4th in T-Town. It's Alabama 10, Jacksonville State nothing. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Top of the 4th, 10-0 Alabama with the lead against Jacksonville State in this midweek ball game at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. 4th inning brought to you by Bojangles. You can download the new Bojangles app and bring the flavor to your next baseball tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and all the fixins. All by ordering ahead on the convenient Bojangles app. It is Bo time, y'all. Oh, I love Bojangles. I love Bojangles breakfast more than anything. Cajun filet biscuit, perfect start to the day. Really good coffee as well. We thank our friends at Bojangles for their support of Alabama baseball. Top of the 4th starts with TJ Reeves at the plate. Former Crimson Tide outfielder, righty on righty. Here's the first pitch from Luke Holman. And a breaking ball low. TJ singled last time up. Good to see that for TJ, who played for 3 seasons at Alabama. Had a great freshman campaign. Here's the 1-0. Fastball is swung on and drilled high and deep in the air to left center. This one is gone. Welcome back to Tuscaloosa. TJ Reeves as he powers out a solo homer to left center here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium to get Jacksonville State on the board. In the top of the fourth inning, it's now Alabama 10 and Jacksonville State 1 on the third homer this year by Reeves. Some applause from the Crimson Tide fans who watch TJ play for the Crimson Tide. He homers. Now it's Tuscaloosa native Carson Crowe stepping in from the left side. Facing the overshift to the right, here's the first pitch on the way. Fastball, little low and inside for a ball. Crowe struck out swinging his first time up. TJ Reeves' bat going to be critical this year for Jacksonville State. Fastball low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Now the 2-0. Swing, and that one's fouled away. 2 balls and a strike. D1 Baseball previewing the A-Sun picked Liberty to win the league, followed by Florida Gulf Coast, Lipscomb, Kennesaw State, and then Jacksonville State. 2-1 is high and off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Now the 3-1. Swing, and this is popped up into foul territory and out of play. 3-2. Coach Case with Jacksonville State always playing a tough schedule. I mentioned this year started with Georgia and a win on opening day at Foley Field in Athens. 8-5 before the Bulldogs took the final 2 games 10-3, 10-5. Payoff pitch. Crowe swings with a high fly ball going into right center field. In a few steps is Rose. And he'll make the catch with the glove in his left hand for the out. Some more good contact in this inning for JSU. Second time through the lineup against Luke Holman.
Third baseman number 16, Caleb Johnson.
1 away, no one on base for Caleb Johnson. Alabama 10, Jacksonville State 1 in the top of the fourth inning. First pitch, fastball, covers the plate for a strike, lower inside corner. Johnson, a strikeout victim his last time up. Last year, a win against Auburn, 0-1. Breaking ball, a strike call, lower outside corner. 0-2 on Johnson. Of course, Auburn, led by Butch Thompson, eventually had a very good season, made it all the way to the College World Series, thanks to the power bat of Sonny DeShera. 1 out, nobody on base. 10-1 Crimson Tide. Top of the fourth inning and the 0-2. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th strikeout for Luke Holman as he continues to collect the strikeouts here in the start against Jacksonville State. Already a career high 6 strikeouts for the right-hander against his dad's alma mater. 10-1, Alabama leads. TJ Reeves homered earlier in the inning for JSU. Now it's A.J. Causey. First pitch on the way. Righty on righty, a slider rides in for a strike. Lower inside corner. Causey, a strikeout victim, went down swinging on a 94-mile-an-hour heater in the second. 0-1. Fastball, this time in the dirt. Ball and a strike to Causey. (10-1) Alabama. Here's the 1-1. Slider again, strike again, lower inside corner. 1-2 on Causey, a chance for Holman to get 3 straight outs after giving up the leadoff homer this inning to TJ Reeves. Holman from the full windup. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low, and it's 2-2 to A.J. Causey. Holman had 54 pitches. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball low, full count. Mentioned the pitch count, just to take a look at where he was last week against Tennessee Tech. He worked 4 innings, was at 59 pitches. Maybe today stretched out to 5. Payoff pitch. Swing, and this is fouled away. First base side stays at 3-2 to A.J. Causey as he bats with nobody on base, 2 gone. 10-1 Alabama leading. Hunter Furtado is getting loose in the Crimson Tide bullpen, so who knows? Could be the end of the day for Holman. after 4 innings. Payoff pitch. Curveball misses high, ball 4. And also, what we talked about earlier with the decision not to have a run rule, pitchers need work for Alabama, for Jacksonville State. Holman is cruising, is only allowed to run through his time on the mound, but there are others that need work, and this is the only midweek game they'll get that work in before the Flames come to town, the UIC Flames. 2 throws. Well, that one slipped out of the hand of Holman as he was looking to second base, to first. And it is a balk, yeah. That was very lately picked up by umpiring crew, but indeed that is a balk. As Holman looked to first, ball slipped out of his hand, and let me balk any time. So runner at second. Fincher still hasn't seen a pitch. Brief mound visit for Tamez, talking with Holman on the mound. Fincher, a strikeout victim first time up. A look at second, and the pitch. Fastball high but foul out of play down the right field line. Strike 1. Looking at the replay on SEC Network again, he threw to first, and now he throws to second. No one's there. Ball rolls into center field, and hustling to third base is Causey. Holman with some adventures in this inning. I was getting ready to say he threw to first base, and he threw, and the ball popped out of his hand, went backwards. This time he throws to second, and Jarvis wasn't there, Eblin wasn't there. Kind of everybody shares the blame there, not just Holman, but Jarvis, Eblin too, but they clearly weren't ready for him to throw. Pitch, breaking ball low and inside, 1-1. Holman threw, and the only man at second base was Causey. Now the 1-1. Fastball just off plate. He's not missing by much in this at-bat to Fincher, but it's 2-1. Holman trying to work his way out of it, though, limiting the Gamecocks to a run. 2-1. Fastball, big swing and a miss. 2-2. And again, Fincher last time up went down swinging on a heater at 95 miles per hour. Let's see if Holman can go back to that again. Maybe breaking the ball to get out of the inning. Runner at third, 2 gone. Here's the 2-2. Called third strike on a fastball lower outside corner at 93 miles per hour. 7 strikeouts for Holman during his time on the mound against Jacksonville State in 4 strong innings. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It is Alabama with a 10-1 lead against JSU. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
And the pitch. A swing so powerful it takes our breath away. Whoa, what a grab. A double play that has us high-fiving strangers. Swaying together with every take me out to the ball game. And the rally that brings us to our feet as one. At Alabama Power, we believe that sharing 9 innings of baseball makes us a better community. It's a powerful spirit that energizes the communities we serve. It's power for a better Alabama. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Bama fans, college baseball is back. Rally up your friends with a cold, refreshing Dos Equis lager to watch your team hit it out of the park on game day. Whether you're hanging out at the bar with your fellow Bama fans or watching with a friend who went to that other school, Dos Equis is there to celebrate every strikeout. So grab a cold, crisp Dos Equis and roll Tide. Dos Equis, proud partner of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2023. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Bottom of the 4th, we'll start with a call to the bullpen for Jacksonville State, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Now, you can make the call to Auto Owners Insurance. Go to rolltide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. New pitcher on the mound for JSU. The Gamecocks trail 10-1 in this ballgame. Right-hander taking over for Trey Smith is Garrett Talega. Talega going through his warm-up tosses. He stands at a tall 6'6", 225 pounds. Redshirt freshman from Harvest, Alabama, went to Sparkman High School. Talega One scoreless outing so far this year, out of the bullpen, an inning in the third. Scoreless, hitless, only one walk, one strikeout on the time for Talega. Now the Alabama native will get to face Crimson Tide here in the bottom of the fourth, with Alabama enjoying a 10-1 lead against Jacksonville State. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for JSU so far in the game. For UA, 10 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Crimson Tide. That was by Luke Coleman in the last inning. But ultimately, not much damage done. Just gave up the solo homer to TJ Reeves. Dominic Temez starting off this inning. Alabama held off the scoreboard in the first, 7 runs in the second, 3 in the third. First pitch, fastball, missed. Lower outside corner for ball 1. Temez, Jarvis, Rose all due up. Tall right-hander standing on the first base side of the rubber delivers. And a swing and a fly ball going foul down the right field line, 1-1. Temez a walk and then hit into a force out earlier, so he's over 1 in this game. The 1-1. Breaking ball, strike call. A curve from the tall righty, Garrett Talega. Third pitcher used today by Jim Case for Jacksonville State. And the 1-2. Breaking ball high at the hands of Temez, Crimson Tide catcher. We've seen Matt Gassetti turning great results for the Crimson Tide, the plate, and defensively as well. 2-2. And the pitch to Temez. Breaking ball high, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gassetti tearing it up right now for the Tide, hitting .563, top batting average on the team in 6 games. Payoff pitch. Fastball bounces in the home plate, ball 4, and the 4th inning will start with the leadoff walk. Pinch runner coming in for the Crimson Tide, Jackson West. Alabama may empty the bench as time goes along. Starting with Jackson West, it will take over. And we already saw one starter go out. Ryan Gardino had only 1 at bat. Will Hodo took over after they made a pitching change from a lefty to a righty. And imagine Hodo will be in the rest of the way. Jim Jarvis, don't take him out of the lineup. He's 2 for 2 in this game. We want to see this continue. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball, a strike call on the lower inside corner. 2 singles for Jim Jarvis today. 10-1, Alabama leads, bottom of the 4th. West at first with nobody out. The 0-1. Low and outside. Count evens to a ball and a strike. Cassetti getting it done in all ways. 9 for 16 at the plate. 3 homers just behind the 4 from Williamson to lead the Crimson Tide. 8 runs batted in only 6 games. The 1-1. Breaking ball low and outside. It's 2 balls and a strike to Jarvis. Cassetti had that great opening day as well. Batting 9th in the order, 3 for 4. Homered, drove in 4 runs, fell just a triple shy of hitting for the cycle. 2-1. Strike call over outside corner on a slider, and it's 2-2. West at first with nobody out. 2-2. Swinging off the end of the bat. This is hit high, deep down the left field line, dropping just foul. Foul ball off the bat of Jarvis as he tried to sneak in what would have been an extra base hit into the left field corner. Two and two on Jarvis. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 10-1. Alabama leads Jacksonville State. And the pitch. Breaking ball hit on a few bounces past the second baseman Hernandez into right field for a base hit. Jim Jarvis 3 for 3. West takes second base on the single by Jim. Now Crimson Tide. 2 men on base, nobody out, looking to build on what's a 10-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Caden Rose has been aboard today twice on walks. Twice he scored runs for Alabama. 10-1 Crimson Tide. Talega looks at second. And the pitch. Bouncing into home plate, blocked well by the catcher Bryan. Ball 1. Alabama ranked 20th in the nation once again. Perfect 8-0 on the season. Only SEC West team that is unbeaten. 1 loss each for LSU, Ole Miss, and Auburn. A look at second and the 1-0. That's high over the head of Rose all the way to the backstop. The bricks carry him the baseball right back to Bryan behind home plate, but it's a wild pitch. Advancing the runners, West to third, Jarvis to second. Nobody out in the inning, and it's 2-0, and now the count's a Rose. Bryan clearly not on the same page with Talega. Those two will talk on the mound. So Alabama's undefeated. Only one other SEC team is undefeated so far this year through the first 2 weeks of the season. Who could that be? We already told you LSU's not undefeated. Tennessee's already had a few losses. Those two teams were kind of regarded as top 2 teams in the SEC entering this season. But over in the SEC East, the South Carolina Gamecocks are also a perfect 8-0 to start the season. Jim Case out along with the athletic trainer for Jacksonville State to check on Talega, as that last pitch was definitely wild, allowing the runners to advance. See if there are any warm-up tosses as he tries to feel better. The athletic trainer is Adam Sparks for Jacksonville State. So those guys talking just in front of the mound. Austin Cornelius is warming up in the bullpen if needed for JSU, but Talega will stay on the mound and doesn't even look like he'll have any warm-up tosses with personnel kind of around the mound. 10-1 Alabama leads, bottom of the 4th. Crimson Tide knocking on the door again. West at third base, Jarvis at second with nobody out. Trying again for a crooked number. 7 runs in the second, 3 more in the third. First base open with nobody out. Talega, after a visit from his athletic trainer, gets set, and the 2-0. Fastball, a check swing, and a called strike. 2-1 to Caden Rose. So yeah, Alabama, South Carolina, the only 2 undefeated teams in the SEC. 2-1 the count, and the pitch. Low. 3 balls and a strike. Carolina returns to action tonight, hosting North Carolina A&T. Three-1 pitch. Swing, and that one's cracked foul just behind the dirt circle, rolling right to Bryce Eblin, who waits on deck for Alabama. 3-2 the count to Rose. Gamecocks undefeated, but yet they're ranked 23rd. Alabama is undefeated and ranked 20th in the nation. Several teams in the league ranked higher than them, yet have losses to begin the year. Payoff pitch. Off the plate, just barely low and outside, ball 4, and that walk will load him up as Caden Rose gets on base again with a walk. 3 for 3 essentially with walks in this game. Camden Loveridge now warming up in the bullpen for Jacksonville State as Jim Case will hustle out, and Talega spitting at least behind pitcher's mound. He must not be feeling well. And Talega is really not feeling well as he tosses his glove, tosses the baseball away, and he is not feeling well. That is best we can describe it. Bases are loaded with nobody out. And on his back from Jim Case, the athletic trainer Adam Sparks is just behind the mound. Talega is still hunched over and feeling sick. Likely we'll see Jacksonville State go to the bullpen. Loveridge is warming up. Now Talega will stand up and gets a good ovation from these Crimson Tide fans. The glove is tossed to Coach Case from Brooks Bryan. And Talega, after getting sick following that walk, he will head back to the dugout. Pitching change coming up for Jacksonville State. Camden Loveridge will be the new pitcher as we have another call to the bullpen presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Now you can make the call to Auto Owners Insurance. Go to RolledTide.com/Auto Owners. It's partnered with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local personalized insurance expertise today. Loveridge coming in. It is a 10-1 Alabama lead bottom of the fourth. We'll tell you more about the new pitcher for JSU. As we continue, you're listening to Alabama Baseball from Learfield.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and Locket card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regions.com/GoBama. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
We are DCH. We were built to protect and persevere, to help and to heal, to provide care that's as strong as this community. With steadfast dedication and hearts of gold, no matter what life throws at us, we've got you covered, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you back to what matters most, your life. DCH, champions for your health.
Alabama 10, Jacksonville State 1. We're in the bottom of the fourth here at the Joe, and the new pitcher on the mound, call him Camden Loveridge, right-hander for JSU, stands 6'2", 195 pounds, junior from Pike Road, Alabama. He's making his warm-up tosses on the hill. Loveridge, 2 appearances, he's 0-1, a high ERA of 20.25, inning in a third, giving up 3 runs, all earned on 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Getting all the time he needs to warm up with, again, the last pitcher, Talega, feeling sick. So he threw up a little bit behind pitcher's mound. Certainly hope he can feel better soon for Jacksonville State. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning with the Crimson Tide building up a 10-1 lead. We see Will Portera, Camden Hayslip, with bats all around the on-deck circle as Eblin's going to come to the plate. Then it's Shelton's spot in the order due up next. May see Will Portera take over for him. A lot of options for the Tide as Alabama will empty the bench midway through the ball game, as we've seen Alabama do so far this year. Coach Mahannon's been able to do that because Alabama's jumped out to some big leads early on teams, notably the Richmond series. Paying it forward as the year goes along. He's trying to develop depth, trying to keep it as competitive as can be. 10-1, Crimson Tide, bottom of the fourth. Bases are loaded. West at third, Jarvis at second, Rose at first. First pitch, low and outside, ball 1 to Bryce Eblin. Eblin, a good game, 2 for 2. An RBI single back, or 2 RBI single back in the second. And he's also scored 2 runs. One up. Swing and a line drive into right field, dropping in for a base hit. This will roll to the warning track and bounce up against the wall. West scores right behind him. Jarvis stopping at third base will be Rose. It's a 2-run double for Bryce Eblin. He's driven in 4 runs today, and Alabama has a 12-1 lead in the bottom of the fourth. Will Portera, the pinch hitter in the spot of Colby Shelton, who had an RBI double earlier. 12-1 Crimson Tide lead. Still nobody out in this bottom of the fourth. Righty to lefty, first pitch. Breaking ball, strike call on the lower outside corner to Portera. That's from the left side against the right-handed pitcher. Good to see Will get an opportunity once again for the Crimson Tide. Very versatile player. And the 0-1. Fastball outside. Ball and a strike to Portera. From Memphis, Tennessee, went to Memphis University School. He is a switch hitter, so he will bat from the right side against lefties. Now on a redshirt sophomore season. Ball and the strike and the pitch. Breaking ball. Went around, trying to check his swing. Count to 1-2 on Portera. Started the season, Portera coming off the bench a lot for the Crimson Tide. In 7 games, hitting .400. 2 for 5. 2 in scoring position, no one out, 1-2. Bouncing into home plate like a hockey goalie. Brian keeps that in front of home plate and the dirt circle to keep the runners where they are. Rose at third, over at second base, Evelyn. First base open with nobody out. 12-1 Crimson Tide. 2-2 the count and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a changeup, and Portera goes down swinging. First out in the bottom of the 4th. Will Hodo next up. Entering the game off the bench earlier. Had a 2-run single his last trip to the plate. First pitch is low and outside for ball 1. It's part of Alabama's 3-run bottom of the 3rd. Now 2 runs have scored here in the 4th. 12-1 Crimson Tide. Still a chance for more. Rose at 3rd, Evelyn at 2nd. The pitch, fastball low. And Hodo in front. 2 balls, no strikes. Hodo also reached on an error his first time he came up in the 2nd inning. Part of that 7-run rally. 2-0. High. 3 balls and no strikes. A run, 2 hits, and an error for Jacksonville State. 12 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Alabama. 3-0. Breaking ball, high and off plate, ball 4. Loveridge with a 4-pitch walk. That loads the bases.
22, Camden Hayslip, pinch hitting. 22, Hayslip, pinch hitter.
Camden Hayslip will take over for Andrew Pinckney. So Pinckney done after going 1 for 3 in this ball game. Pinckney, candidate for Player of the Year in the SEC. Hayslip bats from the left side. Hitting 200 to start the season. First pitch is high and off plate for ball 1. Ball 5 in a row from Loveridge. 1 for 5 so far, Hayslip in his time off the bench. Next pitch is a strike call. Lower outside corner. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball is belted high and deep in the air to right field. Well back is Crow to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Camden Hayslip with a grand slam homer. And the Crimson Tide are in front 16-1 in the bottom of the 4th against Jacksonville State. High fives all around for Camden Hayslip, as he has made this a 15-run lead for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Second career homer for Hayslip with the Crimson Tide, and this one a grand slam homer to make it 16-1. This has been a 6-run bottom of the 4th. Alabama's pretty good, folks. This is a really good start to the season. Alabama with a win today will improve to 9-0. First pitch on the way, Max Williams, pinch hitter. He'll take a strike. He's in the spot of Drew Williams' son. Now we get to see Williams Next pitch by Leverage. Breaking ball is chipped foul up the third base side, foul and ground, rolling slowly to Brad Bohannon, who bends down, picks it up, examines the baseball carefully, turns, tosses underhand to a manager. Crimson Tide dugout, third base side. That dugout fired up after the grand slam homer. Next pitch is a check swing, and that's low. Ball and 2 strikes to Max Williams. Hayslip with the home run for the Crimson Tide. His only other Alabama home run came against Troy back on March 2nd of last year. Pitch, low and outside, and it's 2-2. Pitch, swing, and a slow chop to third. Glove well by Johnson. Front of the dirt, he fires to first for the out. 2 gone in the inning. 2 gone, no one on base for the Crimson Tide. And it's Ed Johnson to the plate. He'll stay in as the DH. Transfer from Tennessee Tech, who's still getting his at-bats, and as he works in the starting lineup for the Crimson Tide today. 16-1 Alabama. Grand slam homer. Camden Hayslip, big highlight of this inning. And a breaking ball runs inside, hits Johnson on the left arm. He'll drop the bat and go to first base. Brings Jackson West to the plate for the Crimson Tide. West 1 for 3 in his 4 games played so far in relief work. Alabama's catchers, Matt Cassetti, as well as Dominic Temez. 16-1 Crimson Tide. We're in the bottom of the 4th here at the Joe with 2 gone. First pitch, a fastball, a check swing, and a strike call to West, who bats on the left side. Now the 0-1. Swung on and popped up high in the air to left center. Reeves over, Mainers over. This will be Mainers, the left fielder, with 2 hands making the catch, and that will close out this inning. An inning that featured 6 runs, including 4 off the bat of Camden Hayslip with his grand slam homer. Moving to the 5th in Tuscaloosa, it's Alabama 16, Jacksonville State 1. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Top of the 5th, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the site of this midweek baseball game between Jacksonville State and the Alabama Crimson Tide. And if you're a Tide fan, you're loving it. 16-1, Alabama with the advantage. As we'll see a variety of changes on the mound this inning. We'll start with an Auto Owners Insurance call to the bullpen for Alabama. Now, you can make a call to Auto Owners Insurance. Go to rolltide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent. Can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. Hunter Furtado is taking over on the mound for Alabama as the lefty goes through his warm-up tosses, looking at the Wake Forest transfers so far this year. Furtado has pitched in 2 games. No wins, no losses, an ERA right at 3. 3 innings of work, allowing a run on 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts so far in this game. So we get to see Furtado on the mound as the tall lefty finishes his warm-up tosses. Hunter Furtado, standing at 6'4", 210, the junior from Lake Worth, Florida, transferred before last season from Wake Forest. Changes all over the place for the Tide defensively. The do our best to explain them as we roll along. It's now Williams in left field. Tommy Seidel, the Sarge, is in center field. Camden Hayslip in right field. First pitch fouled away by Brooks Bryan from Furtado. So Hayslip not far from where he homered, standing in right field. Around the infield, Swinney is at third base, Evelyn at short, Portera at second, Hodo at first. That's called strike, inside corner. Then catching is Jackson West. Now the 0-2. Fastball outside, 1-2. So Swinney at third. Get to see Evelyn at shortstop. Really his natural position. He's played so much second base at Alabama. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a hard grounder to Evelyn. Over to his left. He scoops it up. Tosses over to first for the out. Look good there. One gone. That'll send the JSU shortstop to the plate, Michael Dallas.
The shortstop, number 6, Michael Dallas.
We're in the top of the fifth inning here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. 16-1 Alabama leads. Fifth inning brought to you by Residence Inn in Tuscaloosa. One out, no one on base. First pitch. Dallas swings, a slow chop to deep in the hole at short. Evelyn's got it. Jump throw to first, and the ball will trickle away from Hodo. Wasn't going to be in time anyway. Infield single for Dallas. Gamecocks aboard with its third hit of the ball game. That'll put a man aboard for Javon Hernandez, representing the top of the order. 16-1 Alabama leads, top of the fifth.
Second baseman, number 5, Javon Hernandez.
Hernandez 0 for 1 with a walk. Steps in from the right side against the lefty Furtado. First pitch. Fastball fired in for a strike at 95 miles per hour. Final line on the starter, Luke Holman. 4 innings of work, gave up a run. It was earned on 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. The 0-1. Here's a swing, and this is golfed high in the air, but foul down the third base line. A look by Swinney, but that's well out of play. Nothing in 2 the count. To Javon Hernandez, Mason Mainers waits on deck. 16-1 Crimson Tide against Jacksonville State. We're in the top of the fifth at the Joe. Now the 0-2. Fastball ran into breaking ball. 84 miles per hour, ran too far inside. Ball and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Furtado looks at first. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on a good changeup. First strikeout for Furtado. There are 2 away. Top of the fifth in Tuscaloosa. Alabama 16, Jacksonville State 1. Now it's Mason Mainers stepping in from the left side. First pitch. Swing and a miss. So the slider in the dirt for strike 1. Co-players of the week in the SEC, Jack Caglione of Florida and then Dylan Cruz of LSU. Recognized by the league office. They also went with co-pitchers of the week. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss on an inside fastball, lefty on lefty, strike 2. Liam Sullivan of Georgia earned the nod, as well as Noah Hall of South Carolina. Nothing in 2. Furtado a chance to end the inning, and his pitch. Low and inside. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes on Mainers. Freshman of the week is Ike Irish for Auburn. Led all SEC players with 11 hits in 4 games during the week. Ball and 2 strikes on Mainers. 16-1 Alabama leads top of the fifth. Furtado's 1-2. Inside. Ran far again. The fastball too far in to make it 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mainers. Mainers 0 for 2. The ground out second. And he hit the ball so hard his last time up. A line drive directly down the first base line. Just popping up, making the catch was Drew Williamson to quickly end that inning. Chance to end this inning here. 16-1 Alabama. 2 outs, Dallas at first, 2-2. Swing and a line drive to center, falling in for a base hit. Playing it on a few bounces is Tommy Seidel. Mainer's aboard with a single. 2 hits in the inning for the Gamecocks against Hunter Furtado.
Center fielder number 2, T.J. Reeves.
Now it's T.J. Reeves. Homered his last time up. Former Crimson Tide outfielder. Played 3 years here, native of Hueytown. He's had a 2-for-2 game, a single and a home run. His return to his old ballpark. 16-1, Alabama leads top of the 5th. 2 on with 2 out, and the first pitch lefty to righty. Off the plate, fastball outside, ball 1. Gamecocks led by Jim Case, now in his 22nd season. That one runs a bit upstairs. And the count of 2 balls and no strikes. Winning tenure, 649 victories compared to 533 losses. Just really great resume. The 2019 OVC Coach of the Year. Well, overseeing the transition to the Ace Sun. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low. 3 balls and no strikes. Second year in the A-Sun for the Gamecocks. Last year had a winning mark, went 19-11 in A-Sun play. Finished 3rd in the Western Division. Made it to the A-Sun tournament, but did not get a bid for a regional. 3-0. Fastball in there for a strike. Furtado working from behind, and this at bat's T.J. Reeves. Two on with 2 gone. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a fly ball into straightaway center. At first moving back was Seidel. Now he moves in. He makes the catch, hat high, and that will close out the inning. Furtado gave up a couple of base hits, but ultimately no runs to the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Bottom of the 5th is next. It's 16-1 Alabama leading JSU. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We are DCH. We were built to protect and persevere, to help and to heal, to provide care that's as strong as this community. With steadfast dedication and hearts of gold, no matter what life throws at us, we've got you covered, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you back to what matters most, your life. DCH, champions for your health.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Bottom of the 5th, Alabama a commanding 16-1 lead over Jacksonville State. Mason Swinney is due up first for the Crimson Tide, Alabama's 3rd baseman. Garrett McMillan, good to see him hustling up the first base line to the first base coach's box. Expect to get him back at some point this season. Coming back from injury, Alabama's Friday night starter all last year. Seen Grayson hit, step up well in the Friday rolls so far through 2 weeks. Ben Hess on Saturdays, Sundays, Jacob McNary. Here's the first pitch to Swinney. Batting for the right side, he waves and misses at a fastball for strike 1 from Lovrich, who inherited the mess in the last inning. Next pitch, low. Eventually did surrender that grand slam home run to Camden Hayslip. But a fresh inning for him to work with, bottom of the 5th, with Alabama up 16-1. Next pitch to Swinney. Breaking ball skips into home, and we'll do it again. When they go down to 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch. all the way to the backstop as that one really got away from Loveridge behind the back of Swinney, and the ball kicks off the bricks, rolls onto the grass in between first and the mound. Something not right for Loveridge. He and his catcher don't have a meeting on the mound. Brooks Bryan stepped onto the grass in front of home plate, really took his time, gave a couple of signals to Loveridge, trying to calm him down. 3-1 and the pitch. Fastball just off the plate, ball 4. Next up, Tommy Seidel before he steps in while we pause 10 seconds for Station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th, 16-1, Alabama leads Jacksonville State. Righty on righty, first pitch is swung on, and Tommy Seidel cracks it foul for strike 1. This is Roger Hoover with you from the press box here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Game being produced by Alex Brown back in our Learfield studios. Ethan Carabin running our video stream and all CTSN social media outlets. The booth cam is back. Here's the 0-1. Here's a swing, and this one's fouled away. Those of you watching, hello. Good to see you. Love to hear where you're watching from today. Crimson Tide putting 16 runs on the board through the first 4 innings of the plate. It's got to make you excited for the next 4 innings. 0-2, the pitch. Seidel takes a breaking ball for a called third strike in the inner half. He'll strike out looking. Alabama looking good, and mentioned all the booth cams are going to have one last chance at a courtside cam at Coleman Coliseum coming up tomorrow when Alabama plays host to Auburn. A win for the Crimson Tide under head coach Nate Oates will clinch the outright SEC championship for Alabama. It would be a second in the last 3 years. Great accomplishment. Breaking ball for a strike, as Crimson Tide already guaranteed of at least a share of the SEC title, but we'd love to keep that trophy all to ourselves. No balls in a strike to Eblin, has had a great game. Driving in 4 runs, he takes a strike, lower outside corner. Now, after starting the game at second, moves over to shortstop. Now we're going to have booth cams for baseball and softball periodically all throughout the rest of the year. So make sure you follow the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Turn notifications on for when we're going live. That's low, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. For listening on the radio, Varsity Network app. Again, you can head over to Twitter, YouTube. Link is found at our Facebook page as well. Great way to interact with us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network all throughout the year. Football, men's, women's basketball, baseball, softball, we got it all. Here's a breaking ball, rolled foul, right to Garrett McMillan, the first base coach. Nearly made the play. So that bounced out of his 2 bare hands. He's used to having a glove. 1-2 on Eblin. 3 for 3, 3 runs scored, 4 runs batted in. 2 singles and a double. On the line for Eblin, the native of Indiana, 1-2. He swings and pops this up high to left field. Mainers, few steps to his right, camps under it, makes a 2-handed catch for out number 2.
Second baseman number 31, Will Portera.
16-1 Alabama. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Now Portera steps in for his second at bat. He swings, and it's a bouncing ball to first. Fielded nicely by Causey. He will shovel to the pitcher Loveridge, who is there for the out. And for the first time since the first inning, Alabama held off the scoreboard as the Crimson Tide do not score in the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning. Still Alabama in front, 16-1 over Jacksonville State. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times.
being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA, is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Top of the sixth inning, 16-1, Alabama leading Jacksonville State. This sixth inning is brought to you by Beatbox, now an official sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Each Beatbox is bursting with delicious flavors, gluten-free, low sugar, and resealable. Look for it across the Southeast for your next tailgate. Top of the sixth inning, again, 16-1 Alabama. We've heard from a few of you watching in our booth cam on our social media networks. Hello to everybody watching in Dallas and Mississippi. Great to have all of you along on this Tuesday afternoon. Maybe you went home early from work, just got home from school, ball game's on. We're certainly glad you're with us to enjoy some Crimson Tide baseball. 16-1, no run rule in effect today. We're going to play the full 9. Here's the first pitch, and that's a strike on the inner half to Carson Crow, who is from Tuscaloosa. Hunter Furtado, the lefty, worked a scoreless fifth, now the sixth. Now he works that one low and inside to Carson Crow. He's been in Jacksonville State since 2019. Carson Crow is coached by his father, Greg Crow, at ACA. Here's the 1-1. Fastball runs too far inside, 2-1. Second all-state selection by the Alabama Sports Writers Association in 2018. He was first team All-State in 2017, 2-1. He nubs it foul down the left side into the Alabama dugout off the netting right to Sean Stryker, the athletic trainer, and made a barehanded pickup off the net right to his right hand. Good job, Sean. 2-2 the count on Carson Crow. 16-1 Alabama leads in the sixth, and the pitch. Fastball runs low, full count. Also, Carson Crow is a great basketball player at ACA. Also coached there by his dad, Greg. Scored over 1,000 points on the hardwood. Payoff pitch. Little high, ball 4. This inning starts with a walk. Now Caleb Johnson to the plate.
51, Sam Maynard, and 12, A.J. Causey warming up in the Jacksonville State bullpen. 12, Causey.
A.J. Causey, the first baseman for the Gamecocks, is warming up in the bullpen along with another pitcher, Maynard, for Jack State. Here's the first pitch to Johnson, lefty to righty. It's in there for a strike. Sam Maynard warming up along with Causey in the bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Here's a fastball, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Caleb Johnson. Twice the strikeout victim earlier in the game to Luke Holman. Crow at first with nobody out. Furtado, third base side of the rubber from the stretch. The kick and the pitch. Fastball missing off the plate, low and outside. Jackson West is catching. That's the battery. West behind the plate. And on the mound, Hunter Furtado. Now the 1-2. Called third strike. Fastball on the lower inside corner. Johnson strikes out for a third time today. Pinch hitter Brennan Norton next to the plate for Jacksonville State in the spot of Causey, who is warming up in the bullpen. Pitch, breaking ball high for ball 1. Norton, a right-handed batter. Norton from Coleman, 5'9", 185 pounds. 1 for 18 to start the season. Pitch, line foul. And it counts an even 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned we're going to have these baseball, softball booth camps coming up for you all throughout the rest of the spring. Our next softball booth camp will be coming up on Friday. This Crimson Tide will be home for the Crimson Classic, hosting Robert Morris at 4 p.m. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball high, 2-1. And then the Longwood Lancers at 6:30. So look forward to having the booth cam back for softball. Patrick Murphy's team off to a really good start. Congratulations, Coach Murphy. Over 1,200 victories now at Alabama. Great accomplishment. 2-1. Low went outside. 3 balls and a strike to Norton. Alabama softball 11-3 to begin the season. And Coach Murphy really keeps tabs on this Alabama baseball program. He's got a game at the same time. He goes back, watches the replay, keeps up with the action all throughout the year. Pitch, swing, and a slow chopper is foul. 3-2. Three and two on Norton. There is 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball in front of the runner. Rolls into right field for a base hit. Norton with a pinch hit single. Now 2 aboard with 1 out for Jacksonville State. (16-1) Alabama leads. Fincher over 2 with a pair of strikeouts against Luke Holman earlier. Holman with a career-high 7 strikeouts. Starter for the Tide. Then Furtado the last 2 innings. First pitch here is high for a ball. Run 5 hits for the Gamecocks. The only tally on the scoreboard was a solo homer by T.J. Reeves that led off the 4th inning. Final inning for Holman on the mound. A look back at second by the lefty Furtado. The pitch to the righty batter is a strike. Lower inside corner. Legendary tenure for Patrick Murphy, the softball coach, as we mentioned, for Alabama. Same can be said for Jim Case, head coach of Jacksonville State. He's coaching down the third base line. The 1-1. Here's a swing and a soft fly ball going foul down the first base side. Now 1-2. This season marks his 44th season on the diamond, either as a player or a coach. He was a 4-year letterman at Louisiana Tech from 1979 to 82. Moved into the coaching ranks in 83 in Ruston. Pitch, breaking ball high, 2-2. Before he had 3 seasons at Mississippi State as a grad assistant from Coach Polk. Then he moved back to his hometown of Birmingham as an assistant coach at UAB from 1987 to 1997. Second stint at Mississippi State from 98 to 2001. Then took over in 2002 at Jacksonville State. 2-2. Pretty good pitch just off the plate on a breaking ball. Now it's full count, 3-2. Three into the count and the pitch. Swing and a hard grounder right to the shortstop. Evelyn's got it on to second for 1. Portera to first, a double play. 6-4-3, the twin killing ends this top of the 6th inning as Hunter Furtado, that double play, his new best friend, as he has gone 2 scoreless innings out of the bullpen for Alabama. Bottom of the 6th inning up next, it is 16-1 Crimson Tide over the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Back with more in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to start playing by your own rules and escape the routine so your fantasy becomes reality? Where every night is an adventure, where new flavors are ready to be tasted, where it feels like you're a winner. Take a chance. Reward yourself. Make your routine anything but routine. Escape every day at Win Creek Casino and WinCreekCasino.com.
Bottom of the sixth inning, 16-1, Alabama leading Jacksonville State as we have another call to the bullpen brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. You can make the call to Auto Owners Insurance now. You go rolltide.com/auto owners, partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. Sam Maynard taking over on the hill for Jacksonville State. Gamecocks trying to get some work. Well, their full pitching staff in this ball game. Maynard will be pitching for the first time this season third time this season for Jacksonville State. No wins, no losses, a 6.75 ERA. Inning in a third for him on the mound. He's given up 2 runs, 1 earned on 2 hits, a walk, and no strikeouts for Maynard. Sam, a right-hander from Harvest, Alabama, transferred in to JSU from Southern Union Community College. And the pitch upstairs for a ball. The pitch. Hit foul to the bricks behind home plate on the backstop, and it's 1-1. Jackson Reynolds warming up for the Crimson Tide Knits bullpen after 2 innings out of the bullpen. Solid work turned in by Hunter Furtado. Pitch by Maynard. Will Hodo takes low and off the plate for a ball. Jim Case, a really good run as the head coach of Jacksonville State. It comes after a legendary run right before that by Rudy Abbott. Here's the 2-1. Inside corner strike, 2-2. Coach Abbott retired in 2001. Coach Case took over in 2002. We got the sad news last year that Coach Abbott passed away. Hall of Fame baseball coach. 2-2 is swung on and belted high to straightaway center field. Racing back on this, TJ Reeves, and he'll make the catch right at the base of the wall for the out. Hodo gave it a good ride, but Reeves tracks it down. 1 gone, a long, loud fly out to start Alabama's bottom of the 6th. Camden Hayslip next up, 16-1 Crimson Tide. It was his grand slam homer that turned a 12-1 game into 16-1. We haven't seen any scoring since then. First pitch low and outside for a ball. Pitch. It fell. And it's 1-1. Coach Abbott had a tremendous run, 32 years as a head coach. You've had Jim Case at the helm ever since. Here's a pitch. Here's a fastball, swing and a miss, 1-2. Coach Case now in his 22nd year. Just, again, remarkable, the run of success and the continuity in coaching staffs. 1-2. Low outside, 2-2. And that's why the home field of Jacksonville State is Rudy Abbott Field at Jim Case Stadium. They recognize their 2 legendary coaches they've had back-to-back. Pitch is a swing and a line drive to center. That'll drop in for a base hit. Hayslip is aboard with a 1-out single. 16-1 Crimson Tide leading bottom of the 6th. Max Williams next up for the Crimson Tide. Coach Abbott took over the program at JSU in 1970. Here's the first pitch to Williams. Swung on and popped up. High on the infield around the third base bag from the grass, backpedaling to the dirt. That drops in for a hit. Hayslip will be out easily at second base, as that is a definition of an infield bloop single for Williams. And out on the play at second base, or fielder's choice, rather. Out at second base will be Haslett. 2 gone in the inning. And now it's at Johnson at the plate. Finishing up a few notes on Coach Abbott. He took over as JSU's sports info director in 1964 before being the head baseball coach in 1970. This is pelted foul and out of play. He's 32 years as head coach of JSU, 8 Gulf South Conference tournament titles, won or shared 3 ASUN Division championships. Led the Gamecocks to the D2 World Series 7 times, including back-to-back titles in 1990, 1991. Luke Holman's father was on those teams. The 0-1. Low and outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Not only the field named in his honor, but also Rudy Abbott Highway, the road that's adjacent to Rudy Abbott Field at Jim K Stadium. 1-1. Swing and a chopper foul right to Brad Bohannon. Oh, just off his left hand. Coach Bohannon nearly had that one as he was able to shuffle quickly back into his left, just could not make the play. Ball and 2 strikes on Ed Johnson. In the bottom of the 6th, 16-1 Bama. Pitch off the plate, and it's 2-2. Johnson 2 for 3. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good fastball from Maynard as he turns in a scoreless bottom of the 6th, and we roll to the 7th in Tuscaloosa with Alabama in front, 16-1 over Jacksonville State. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
Top of the 7th, Alabama will turn over to a new pitcher, leading 16-1 against Jacksonville State in this lone midweek game of the week. New call to the bullpen presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Now you can make the call to Auto Owners Insurance. Go to RolledTide.com/Auto Owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide personalized and local insurance expertise today. It's Jackson Reynolds taking over on the hill for the Crimson Tide. Alabama in front by 15 entering the top of the 7th in a game that does not feature the run rule. Reynolds has made one start for the Crimson Tide. That was last week against UT Martin. 3 innings, scoreless in that time on the mound, giving up 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for the right-hander Jackson Reynolds. Reynolds stands at 6'5", 200 pounds, a grad student from Opelika, Alabama. Time in his career both at UAB and Auburn and Shelton State here in Tuscaloosa. Now finding a home as a grad transfer with Alabama. Righty on righty to start this at-bat, and the first pitch on the way is low and off plate for ball 1. Trent Hoogerwerf is the pinch hitter for JSU in the spot of Brooks Bryan, the catcher. He swings and pops this one foul over our heads, and it's a ball and a strike. No more direct sunlight on the field, really playing in the shade as the lights haven't taken much of an effect here in Tuscaloosa. It's still very comfortable, 77 degrees, just a perfect way to close out February weather-wise. Here's a fastball, here's a strike by Williams, and it's 1-2. Dallas, the shortstop, waits on deck. The 1-2. Low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hoogerwerf. Run, 5 hits, an error for Jacksonville State. 16 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for Alabama. 2-2. Fastball, missed. Lower outside corner. Payoff pitch. Line foul, out of play. Right field line, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Hoover. Next broadcast on the network will be tomorrow. Men's basketball, Alabama just across the street at Coleman Coliseum against Auburn. Here's a payoff pitch. Swing and a slow bounding ball to first, a foul ball. Just behind the bag, ruling on that one. Morris Hodges, first base umpire. Hoda was there to make the play. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Reynolds as he starts his time on the mound after Furtado went 2 scoreless innings. Now the payoff pitch. Swing and a fly ball into left. Right to the left fielder. Barely having to move as Williams with the glove in his right hand. He puts it away for the first out. Long at bat, but an out to start this top of the 7th with Alabama up 16-1. Michael Dallas next to the plate. Righty batter, righty pitcher, first pitch. Curveball outside for ball 1. So men's basketball tomorrow at 6. We'll have the courtside cam available for that game on all CTSN social media outlets. Radio coverage will start at 5 o'clock from Stipe Lounge. Here's the 1-0. Here's a swing, and that's knocked right back to the netting behind home. 1-1. If you're coming to the ball game, say hello to us. We're there for the first half hour of our coverage just on the concourse, just as you walk in. Front entrance of Coleman, we're tucked away just to the left. Sitting on comfortable chairs and couches thanks to our friends at Royal Furniture. Ball on the strike and the pitch. Called strike, and it's 1-2. Look forward to getting everyone back together for Alabama basketball tomorrow, trying to win an SEC championship. Pitch, swing, and a low liner will take a bounce past the diving shortstop Evelyn onto the first grass in left field. It falls in for a hit. Second single by Dallas, the shortstop for JSU tonight.
Pinch hitter, 27, Cole Smith.
Cole Smith, serving as a pinch hitter, will be next up for Jacksonville State. Junior from Sewanee, Georgia, to plate. First pitch is up there for a ball. Also, we'll have softball tomorrow. Crimson Tide will be home again. Got a big weekend coming up with the Crimson Classic, but a midweek game tomorrow against Southern Miss. Pitch, swing, and a slow chop, foul, third base side. First pitch, 6 o'clock at the Rhodes House tomorrow for Alabama against Southern Miss. And then on Thursday, we'll have coverage of women's basketball, the SEC tournament. Christy Curry's team, number 6 seed in the SEC tournament. 1-1. Low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Smith at the plate with a runner at first. Dallas, 1 out, 2-1. Here's a swing and a low line drive to center, dropping in for a hit. Back-to-back singles for the Gamecocks, and this one off the bench for Smith. 16-1 Alabama. Bump Bergreen to the plate. Freshman from Decatur. Two on, 1 out, first pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Righty Reynolds on the mound, Bergeen on the hill. You have, or at the plate, you have Reynolds pitching. Braden Gainey warming up in the Crimson Tide bullpen. Bump Bergreen at the plate, and the pitch is a strike call. Doesn't say on the JSU website what Bump's first name really is. Look at second, and the 0-2. Low and inside, 1-2. You got the name Bump in baseball, I think of the natural. Bump Bailey. That was a nickname. Here's the 1-2. Here's the swing, and I imagine it's the same for Bergreen. Yeah, Bump Bailey. Bump was a nickname for Bartholomew Bailey. Played a key role in blocking Roy Hobbs from playing time when he joined the New York Knights. 1-2. Fastball called third strike. Bump Bergreen strikes out looking. 2 gone. Yeah, it was unfortunate the way that all shook out. His first name is William. William Bergreen, striking out looking. Tip of the cap to our incredible stats research team, headed by Ethan Carabin. Finding that information. First pitch is swung on. A hard grounder right to third. Gloved by Swinney on to first for the out, and this inning is over. Reynolds allowed a couple of base hits, but ultimately no damage done. We've played through 6.5 innings, 7th inning stretch time, with Alabama enjoying a 16-1 lead against Jacksonville State. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The next time you need a medical imaging provider, go where the Tide goes. The radiology clinic just north of the river is the Tide's choice for all of their medical imaging needs. Our compassionate care, extended hours, easy parking, and convenient location make the radiology clinic a championship choice for all of your imaging needs. Visit us online at TuscaloosaRadiology.com or call 205-345-2000 to schedule your appointment.
Seventh inning stretch time of the Cotton Eye Joe. You know you're going to get. Take me out to the ball game. And right now, Cotton Eye Joe. Everyone dancing around, having a good time as the Crimson Tide have enjoyed this Tuesday afternoon game, leading 16-1 against Jacksonville State. If you're just joining us, Alabama burst through with 7 runs in the bottom of the second inning, take control of the game from there. Added 3 more in the third, 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth. There have been 6 innings of the plate. Alabama's only scored in 3 of them, but big innings of the plate, cooking numbers each way you look at it. Camden Hayslip, one of the big performers, with a grand slam homer. Bryce Eblin has been excellent at the plate, 3 for 4, driving in 4 runs in this game. Just a lot of praise to go around for this Tide team. And then the pitching staff has done its job. Only run on the board for JSU, and that was by T.J. Reeves with a solo homer to left center. Reeves, of course, played for 3 seasons at Alabama from 2019 to 2021. Maynard working on the hill. He worked a scoreless 6th inning. Now back for the 7th. First pitch is off the plate, but a strike to Jackson West, the catcher, who took over for Dominic Temez. West in his time at the plate 0 for 1. Maynard from the stretch. The righty kicks and deals and works outside and low to even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike to Jackson West.
14, Kyle Chastain warming up.
1-1. Swing and a high deep drive to right. Moving back on this all the way and not making the grab as that'll kick off the glove of Jared Eaton, the new right fielder. West is in the second with a double. Excellent work as Eaton came close but could not make the grab. Mason Swinney to the plate. Righty on righty. And the first pitch. Low and outside for ball 1. Double to right starts this inning for West. Swinney, a check swing, and a strike. He drew a walk his only other time to the plate. Crimson Tide up 16-1 on Jacksonville State. trying to improve to 9-0 in the SEC. Pitch, check swing, that's just off the plate. We, so far in this ballgame, have not done a Cook's Pest Control scoreboard update. Why don't we change that? 2-1. Maynard to look at second and the pitch. Low and outside. Game we're most concerned about is in Columbia, South Carolina. 23rd ranked South Carolina up 6-3 on North Carolina A&T. Now 3-1. Hit foul. 3-2. You may be saying, now, Roger, why do we care? How South Carolina's doing right now? Well, if you were with us earlier, we talked about the fact that South Carolina is the only other undefeated team in the league. Here's a swing, and this is popped up. High to the third baseman. Backing up on it is Norton. He will go into foul ground, and as he leans into fair territory, makes the catch with a glove on his left hand for the out. So again, Gamecocks in front 6-3. It's not everything, but it would be nice to be the only undefeated SEC baseball team through the first 2+ weeks. South Carolina, like Alabama, will only have one midweek game, so if the Gamecocks win today, the South Carolina Gamecocks, that means they're undefeated going into the third weekend. Breaking ball, a strike call, or outside corner. Carolina 8-0, Alabama 8-0 as well. Tommy Seidel at the plate. Now the 0-1. Swung on, a soft fly ball into foul territory. The first baseman makes the grab just next to the first base coach's box. Another foul pop out for the Crimson Tide, or into foul-ish territory. This one definitely foul. 2 gone. Other scores around the league. Tennessee led by head coach Tony Vitello. And yes, Coach Vitello is back after serving a 3-game suspension over the weekend. Also, shortstop Maui Ahuna, who was ruled ineligible by the NCAA just prior to the start of the season, he's available, playing for the Vols against Charleston Southern. 3-0 Tennessee over CSU at top of the 6th in Knoxville. First pitch off plate for a ball to Bryce Eblin. 1-0. Fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes. Other scores around the league. Top of the 7th in Athens, Georgia up 11-6 over Presbyterian, the Blue Hose, where Tim Corbin got his start before and made Presbyterian an established winner before going to Vanderbilt. Pitch, here's a swing, and this is popped up. High to left field in a few steps is William Bergreen. He'll make the catch for the out, and that will close out the inning. Crimson Tide don't score in the 7th. We go to the 8th with Alabama in control, up 16-1 over the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Top of the 8th, Alabama 16, Jacksonville State 1. This 8th inning brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health, reminding you to protect your team by getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Tide fans ages 12 and older are eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine in Alabama. For more information, visit alcovidvaccine.gov. Crimson Tide still enjoying the fun that we had in the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. 7 runs in the 2nd, 3 more in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th to make it 16-1 Crimson Tide. This inning will start for Jacksonville State with Eaton, the right fielder, at the plate. First pitch on the way. Swing and a bouncing ball up the middle. It's Eblin, shortstop, ranging behind second. He's got it, throws to first, not in time for the out, and it will be a single for Jared Eaton that puts him aboard to start this 8th inning for Jacksonville. He's aboard with nobody out, 16-1 Crimson Tide leading. Going through the Cook's Pest Control scoreboard, you can discover how affordable it is to upgrade to the proven termite protection of Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Call Cook's Pest Control for a free evaluation. First pitch, big swing and a miss for strike one to Jacksonville State's Caleb Johnson. A step off the mound, a throw to first, and the runner back in time. Silvergan on the hill for Alabama. Jackson Reynolds, who tossed a scoreless 7th. It's on the mound for the 8th with the Crimson Tide in front by 15 runs. Now the 0-1. Low and inside. Going through some of the scores, South Carolina still up 6-3 over North Carolina A&T going to the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 5th in Missouri, an in-state battle that Missouri is winning. Pitch. Here's a swing and a fly ball into right center field. Hustling over is the center fielder. Seidel, he'll dive, but he can't make the catch for the out. Playing behind that ball is Hayslip. He'll get throwback to the infield as it's a double for Johnson. Jared Eaton over at third base. It's Johnson with his double now. At second base, there's nobody out, and Norton will be the batter. First pitch, righty on righty. Low and outside for ball. Bottom of the 5th, again in Columbia, Missouri. Missouri leading Lindenwood 17-2. Lindenwood located in St. Charles, Missouri. 1-0. Here's a swing and a deep fly ball. Foul. Out of play down the left field line. 1-1. Other scores of interest, some work to do for Coach Bianco and the defending national champion Ole Miss Rebels. The 4th-ranked Rebs in the top of the 5th inning, trailing by a run to Louisiana Tech. 1-1. Upstairs for a ball. 2-1. Jacksonville State led by La Tech alum Jim Case. And right now, Bulldogs in front 5-4 at Swayze Field. 2-1. Swung on and knocked high, but foul and out of play. Also, some work to do for the Vandy boys. It's early in Nashville, but Austin Peay, the Governors, have a 5-1 lead over the 7th-ranked Commodores. It's on the bottom of the 2nd. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball low, a check swing. Norton didn't go around, 2-2. Also, top of the 3rd in Jacksonville, Florida, the Jacksonville University Dolphins hosting the Florida Gators. And the 6th-ranked Gators, led by Kevin O'Sullivan, have a 1-0 lead over the Dolphins. Payoff pitch. Off the plate, ball 4, and that walk loads the bases. Later tonight, Houston Christian is at Texas A&M. Southern Miss will be at Mississippi State. The Bulldogs not ranked. The Golden Eagles of Southern Miss are ranked. It's turned into a great baseball program, Southern Miss. And then number 1 LSU also on the road, taking on Texas. Look forward to following that one maybe later when we get home, as that game will be in Austin. First pitch off the plate. Ball 1 to Fincher. Hopefully our friend Keith Moreland's on the call for that game, maybe on the Longhorn Network. Keith, former Chicago Cubs outfielder, played college baseball at Texas. His number's retired. 1-0. Inside corner strike, and it's 1-1 to Fincher. Got to meet Keith last year when we were in Austin for Alabama's 3-game series at Texas, the 2nd week of the year. 1-1. Here's a swing and a slow bouncing ball foul down the third base line. 1-2 to Fincher from Reynolds. Alabama trying to keep this game where it is, 16-1. Bases loaded. And the 1-2. Check swing as that's low and off the plate. 2-2 to Fincher. 15-run lead to work with for Jacksonville State and Alabama as they play a day earlier than expected. Rain in the forecast for tomorrow afternoon. So JSU made a quick decision along with Alabama to move the game to today. 2-2. High. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Fincher. A walk would bring in a run. 3-2 the count. And the pitch. Swing and a bounding ball to the shortstop. Fielding it, Eblin on to second for one. Portera to first. Won't be in time for that out. Run scores on the play as Eaton comes in from third to make it 16-2. Got a choice for Fincher, bringing in the second run of the day. So Norton out at second base, 6-4. Over to third base goes Johnson. Men on the corners with one gone. Now Hoogerworth, the catcher, to the plate. Righty on righty, and the pitch. Fastball rides in for a strike.
The batter is the catcher, number 15,
Trent Hoogerworth. Senior from Iowa City, Iowa. Now the 0-1. Slider, strike call, or inside corner, 0-2. Third school for Hoogerworth after starting his time at Southeastern Community College, then going to Heartland Community College in Normal, Illinois. The 0-2. In the dirt, blocked by West, running in from third base and scoring standing up. Jacksonville State's Johnson, as he ran nearly headfirst into the home plate umpire David Bailey, who didn't get out of the way. On a wild pitch at 16-3. Again, Caleb Johnson scoring from third base, and luckily no bad collision with he and the home plate umpire. So with that, only one man on base. That's Fincher at first with one out. 16-3 the score. 1-2. Inside and missed. 2-2 the count. Hoogerworth at the plate. Took over the catching duties for Brooks Bryant. Reynolds with the 2-2. Here's a swing and a low liner. Takes one hop to the glove of Swinney on to second for one. Portera to first two. A double play. The Crimson Tide go around the horn. Again, Swinney to Portera to Hodo. And the inning is over. 2 runs do score for the Gamecocks in the 8th. But as we move to the bottom of the 8th, it's Alabama in control, leading 16-3 over Jacksonville State. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and Lock-It card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regents.com/GoBama. Regents, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Crimson Tide Baseball, brought to you in part by Cadence Bank. You can keep up with everything Alabama with the Roll Tide mobile app, presented by Cadence Bank. Download the Roll Tide mobile app now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Time for another call to the bullpen presented by Auto Owners Insurance for JSU. Go to rolltide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local, personalized insurance expertise today. Kyle Chasteen taking over on the hill. Left-hander going through his warm-up tosses. 6'3", 205-pound, a native of Tuscaloosa. He pitched in this city as well at Shelton State before transferring to Jacksonville State. Now he gets to pitch in his hometown here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Face the top of the order for the Crimson Tide. Final licks for Alabama at the plate with Will Portera starting it off. Lefty to righty, first pitch. Low and in for ball one. Portera, a switch hitter, now batting from the right side, for mostly batting from the left side in this ball game. 16-3 Alabama. 1-0 pitch. Fastball, strike call over outside corner, 1-1. Tide will improved to 9-0 with a victory. 1-1 pitch. Low and in, 2-1. Even if South Carolina wins today, this game will be over before the Gamecocks are done, so Alabama would be the fastest team in the SEC to reach 9 wins this season. Now the 2-1. Runs a bit inside, and it's 3-1. Crimson Tide will try and keep it going this weekend against the University of Illinois, Chicago. 3-game series starting on Friday. 3-1 pitch. Here's a swing, and this is mashed high and deep, but well fouled down left. Again, taking out some car on Bryant Drive. Next pitch on the way. Behind the back of Portera, ball 4, all the way to the backstop. Leadoff walk starting this inning. Looking at UIC, the Flames are 4-3 to start the year. Started the season by taking it 3 out of 4 games against St. Mary's down in California. Then went to Nashville to take on Lipscomb. Dropped 2 of 3 to Lipscomb Bisons. Had 1 game canceled due to weather already, and that's tomorrow at UT Martin. So the Flames are coming to Tuscaloosa this weekend. Won't be a home game this season for UIC until next Tuesday. Typically see that teams from the north and northeast. Here's a fastball in. 2 balls and no strikes on Hodo. UIC, of course, calling Chicago home, and they also call Curtis Granderson Stadium home. 2-0 pitch. Fastball in again. 3 balls and no strikes. Former Flame, retired Major Leaguer Curtis Granderson donated a sum of $5 million to help fund a $10 million ballpark that now bears his name. 3-0. Low, and this also skips to the backstop. Runners will advance. Portera to second. Hodo drawing the walk. Gorgeous Silly looking at a picture of it online. Some people describe it as the best batter's eye in all of college baseball because you have the city of Chicago skyline right behind it, including the Sears Tower, which I guess is now the Willis Tower. Trip to the mound by the pitching coach for JSU. Tallest building in city of Chicago. It's really cool that that's where UIC gets to call home. They'll be here in Tuscaloosa this weekend. Lee Tracy will have our radio coverage for us across the network. 16-3, Crimson Tide leading. Looking at game times for the weekend, Alabama against UIC will start on Friday at 3, Saturday's game at 2 o'clock, and then Sunday at noon to help get the Flames back home to Chicago. 16-3, Alabama in front. This game brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar with zero sugar and refreshingly delicious. Is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. 2 aboard with nobody out for Camden Hayslip. Grand slam homer earlier in the game for the Crimson Tide in the 4th. First pitch, lefty on lefty, and that'll spike the strike zone lower outside corner. 0-1 to Hayslip. He's got tremendous power, always been known for his BP power. Homered last year against Troy, now earning some more playing time this season. The 0-1. Low. And it's a ball and a strike to Camden. 1-1 the count with the Crimson Tide in front. 16-3. Alabama hasn't scored since his Grand Slam homer. In the bottom of the 4th, Goose Eggs on the board the last 3 innings. Two on with nobody out, bottom of the 8th. And the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball to the first baseman. Gloved well by Johnson on to first for 1 out. The throw to first, not back in time. So fielder's choice. 360 out at second for Hodo. Hayslip reaching on the fielder's choice. Portera takes third. Max Williams next up. Alabama 16, Jacksonville State 3. In the bottom of the 8th inning. Chastain, the lefty from the stretch, looks at first pitch. Low for a ball, and this went right under the catcher, Hoover. Chastain, again from Tuscaloosa, started his time at Shelton State here in Tuscaloosa as well. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, lower outside corner, 1-1. High school played at Hillcrest High, led by head coach Mark Garner, led the Patriots to 3 straight 6A playoff appearances. Area titles before that. Very good job. Now the 1-1. Curveball bends too far outside to the lefty hitting Williams, and it's 2-1. Shelton State. Pitch for Bobby Sproul there. 2 years, 39 appearances. Great results for the Bucks. Pitch, swing, and this is cranked high and deep down the right field line, but also well foul. Williams got all of that one just too far to the right. 2-2 the count. Crimson Tide trying to build on a 16-3 lead, and we haven't seen Alabama score since the 4th inning. Two-two pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 gone in the inning. Now it's Ed Johnson to the plate. One of the starters that stayed in the entire game for Alabama, and he's been 2 for 4. He's up a couple of singles early in this ball game. Righty batter, lefty pitcher. Men on the corners with 2 outs and the first pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Yeah, USC this weekend, Alabama's first road game after rescheduling with Pepperdine. The first road game's coming up next week on Tuesday. 1-0. Fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes. Going to the Birmingham area, going to the Samford campus for Alabama at Samford next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Alabama won big at Samford last year. 2-0. Here's a swing and a fly ball pelted into center, but looking up, trying to find the ball is TJ Reeves, and he can't find it. That'll drop in for a base hit. Portera scores, and it'll be an RBI double for Alabama's Ed Johnson. That makes it 17-3, Crimson Tide, bottom of the 7th. Tough time of night here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium trying to find the baseball in the lights, and Reeves had a tough time along with Eaton. Even the catcher kind of put his arms up saying he can find the baseball as well.
Alabama at 17 runs, tied for the most in the game against Jacksonville State. Matches a March 2nd, 2001 game.
This March is a March 2nd, 2001 win for Alabama, winning 17-0 against Jacksonville State. So, notable stat there for the Crimson Tide. Turned in by Alex Thompson. Outstanding sports information director. I'm not sure how many years he's been with Alabama. At least goes back to the 2015 year in Hoover. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball low and outside, and a ball and a strike to Jackson West. 17-3 Crimson Tide. Alabama at Samford next week, then home next Wednesday against Alabama State. That'll be the first midweek night game at home. 1-1. Off the plate. Early in the season, how cold it can be, even though today has been in the 70s and the 80s. Try to play as many afternoon games as you can, and then midweeks after that will shift to at night. And then Friday night games as well before afternoon ball games for the most part on Saturday and Sunday. Now the 1-2. Curveball slowly bounced on the grass, first base side, picking up cleanly as Johnson. He'll hustle to the wide square for the out, and that'll close out the inning. Alabama dents the scoreboard one last time against Jacksonville State, thanks to an RBI double in this frame by Ed Johnson. 9th inning, here we come. It's Alabama 17 and Jacksonville State 3. Back in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Guys, guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Top of the ninth inning, Alabama trying to close out what would be an impressive victory. Crimson Tide in front 17-3 over Jacksonville State. And as we start this top of the ninth inning, one more pitching change for the Crimson Tide. A call the bullpen presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Go to rolltide.com/auto owners. It's partnered with an independent Alabama agent who can provide local personalized insurance expertise today. Crimson Tide handing the baseball to Braden Gainey to try and get the final outs of this ball game for Alabama on the hill. Gainey, a right-hander, going through his warm-up tosses. 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, a senior from Panama City, Florida. Gainey making his season debut. Saw time in 8 games during his first year in Tuscaloosa last year. A 3.75 ERA, 9 strikeouts, no walks during his 8 appearances. So on the hill for the first time this season. Braden Gainey trying to get the final outs of a 17-3 game against Jacksonville State. Michael Dallas first to the plate, shortstop all game long for JSU. Both sides have emptied the benches for the most part, getting everyone's playing time in the only midweek game of the week for Alabama and Jacksonville State. Righty on righty, first pitch. Gainey works in a slider for a strike, lower inside corner. UIC this weekend at Samford next Tuesday, low and outside 1-1. Home against Alabama State next Wednesday at 6. Then the Crimson Tide, one final tune-up on a weekend, hosting Columbia. Looks to be one of the better Ivy League teams this season. The Columbia Lions coming in from Friday to March 12th, which is also Selection Sunday in men's and women's basketball. Then the Crimson Tide will be on the road for the next week. It'll be interesting going to a very good South Alabama program. Pitch outside and low, 2-1 on Tuesday, and then the Crimson Tide will make the trip, and on Thursday, March 16th, starting SEC play at Florida. 2-1. Here's a swing and a soft fly ball into shallow left, drifting back. The shortstop, and Eblin puts it away for the out. Soft fly out to short starts the JSU top of the ninth. Last 2 years, Alabama facing JSU both in Tuscaloosa and Jacksonville. This year, no return trip. First pitch in there for a strike to Northeast Alabama to face Jacksonville State. So we wish Coach Case and the Gamecocks the best of luck coming up in the A-Sun. Now the 0-1. Here's a swing and a hard grounder to the shortstop. Eblin fielding it cleanly, back of the dirt. Sidearms first for the out, 2 gone. Crimson Tide an out away from victory. Now Bump Bergreen to the plate. Last chance for the Gamecocks to keep this game alive. Gainey on the hill, first pitch, fastball, strike call, lower outside corner. 17-3 Alabama. Crimson Tide took control early, never looked back. Cameron Hayslip, big performance. Bryce Eblin at the plate. Here's a swing, and this is knocked high but foul down the left field line, and that will make it no balls, 2 strikes. Bird Green, lefty hitter. Gainey, the righty pitcher. The 0-2 on its way. Breaking ball, called third strike, and this game is over. Alabama moves to a perfect 9-0 to start the 2023 season with a dominant 17-3 win over Jacksonville State. The lights flash on and off at Sewell-Thomas Stadium as the Crimson Tide will celebrate win number 9 this season. Again, the final 17-3, Alabama defeats Jacksonville State. We'll step aside and begin our post-game coverage in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to start playing by your own rules and escape the routine so your fantasy becomes reality? Where every night is an adventure, where new flavors are ready to be tasted, where it feels like you're a winner. Take a chance. Reward yourself. Make your routine anything but routine. Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature. DiscoverTheForest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Alabama baseball postgame show presented by Residence Inn. Alabama a 17-3 winner against Jacksonville State. Roger Hoover, great to be back with you here at Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Dark navy skies overhead, lights staying in full effect as Crimson Tide now in the dugout, huddled around head coach Brad Bohannon. We'll visit with him coming up shortly in a moment. Do want to remind you that Alabama baseball brought to you in part by Holiday Inn Express University, Tuscaloosa. 17-3 winners. Alabama picking up this victory against Jacksonville State. We'll continue with more in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Ask Randy Jones and Associates in Albertville if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
Excuse me, do you know the average time of one full inning at a Crimson Tide baseball game?
10 minutes.
Half hour?
I think 45 minutes.
Actually, one inning in baseball lasts about 20 minutes. Any idea how long it takes to complete a mortgage application?
An hour and a half.
Probably like 3 hours at least. It takes a couple days.
I'm going to go with 45 minutes.
Actually, at Assurance Financial, you can apply for a mortgage in less time than one inning. Find out more by visiting them at AssuranceMortgage.com. That's AssuranceMortgage.com. Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 70876. Swing and a line drive into right field, dropping in for a base hit. This will roll to the warning track and bounce up against the wall. West scores right behind him. Jarvis stopping at third base will be Rose. It's a 2-run double for Bryce Eblin. He's driven in 4 runs today, and Alabama has a 12-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Crimson Tide weren't done with that as Alabama eventually picks up a 17-3 victory over Jacksonville State. Roger Hoover from the press box joined on the field with a phone held to his head. Brad Bohannon, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And, Coach, you and Jacksonville State moving this game a day early. It seemed like your group was ready to go. What'd you like about this victory for the Crimson Tide today?
I liked all of it. Anytime you score 17 runs, you got to feel good about it. I thought Luke Holman took a step forward today, looked really sharp in 4 innings, and was able to get a lot of guys in the game. We had 9 different players get hits, and just a really good day all the way around for us.
It really was, and you got to empty the bench later on in the ball game, and Camden Hayslip comes in, and he does in a game what I know you've seen him do in batting practice really the last 2 years. How thrilled were you for his performance today with the Grand Slam homer?
Well, I was really happy for him. I'm happy for our team, too. But, Camden's a kid that's got a lot of talent, and he's kind of had some bad luck. He scuffled a little bit last year. He's had some different injuries. He went to summer ball, and a week into it, had a little back issue. And I've been wanting to get him in there. It's one of those guys, you get 5 or 6 games in the season, you look at your stat sheet, and you're like, man, we've got to get this guy some more at-bats. And, you tell the kids all the time, you got to be ready when you get your chance. He got his chance today, and he was ready.
He certainly was, as the Crimson Tide pick up a win against Jacksonville State team that features a lot of familiar faces, whether it's assistant coach Kyle Cameron or center fielder TJ Reeves. What was it like to see so many of them back today, along with Evan Bush, who played here for the Crimson Tide back in 2006?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Jim Case. I think he's just a really classy individual, and Jacksonville State's got a great program. Great to see Evan, who's a huge part of Alabama tradition, and obviously we got the coach and have Kyle on staff, and TJ played some really good baseball for us. Has really developed into an outstanding player, and would think he's got a real chance to be the conference player of the year in their league. So really appreciate all those guys, and it's always great to see people that you know and like.
Absolutely, a great group. And now your team, a perfect 9-0 to start the season. UIC comes to town starting on Friday. Just what's going to be the focus for you and your staff getting the Tide ready for the weekend?
Well, I think we got to be better on the front end of the game, and I think we will be, but we need to get more out of Grayson Hinton this weekend than we did last weekend. We have a lot of confidence in those guys. Out of the 9 games that we played, I think we've done a really good job offensively, 8 out of those 9. So obviously just want to keep moving forward with that and, continue to improve because the league plays right around the corner.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. Thank you for joining us. Roll Tide.
All right, Roll Tide, Roger. Thank you.
That's Brad Bohannon, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. His comments are always presented by Assurance Mortgage. In less time than an inning, you could be saving money by applying for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. Assurance Mortgage, a proud partner of the Crimson Tide. 17-3, Alabama winners against Jacksonville State on this Tuesday in Tuscaloosa. We will step aside for one final time tonight. When we come back, we'll tell you what's on tap next for Bama as the Crimson Tide try to stay unbeaten so far in college baseball. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.